What's up, everybody? How you doing today? Hope you had a good weekend. Hope you enjoyed Monday Night Football last night because it was a good one. So, little new series we're going to start here today, doing a live stream. And I kind of decided to do this because I've been going over some stuff with the storyline in BO6, getting ready for BO7. And there's lots of theory kind of things floating around, and I just don't think that the way that the story was told in BO6, one, was particularly good in the way that they told it. And like as far as like the main characters go that we've been seeing in the game, it's really kind of like I've talked about this a bunch of times, but just to take for an example, like Terminus, we get introduced to Dr. Modi pretty close to the beginning of that map, and then by the end of the map, she's dead. And then we get introduced, we hear the name Franco at the end of Terminus, and then midway through the next map, he's dead. Like, there's just a lot of stuff like that. Then we get Gabriel Kraft and Citadel, same map as, whatever, as Franco. And then he's dead by the end of it. Of course, he's somebody from the past in Vanguard. I also don't like that, to be honest with you, that they're combining every single every single Treyarch Zombies game that there has ever been, and combining all storylines, even though we know specifically, from Jason Blundell in the past, when he was talking about Chaos Crew from Black Ops 4, he's like, this specifically 100% is not related to the Ether Crew story at all. It is entirely separate, different universe. Don't even start thinking multiverses, because it's just different entirely. It's not that. That's a whole story thing that it's just, pure fiction fantasy over here, and then this is another brand new separate fiction thing over here. So they are not related whatsoever. And then of course Vanguard tanked so hard they decided to throw in, that's my guess is why they decided to do it, a little bit of lore from Chaos Crew with Alistair Rhodes, basically to try to get us into. I think it was basically a cheap shot because the game was tanking so hard that they were trying to pull us back in a little bit. And then once you do that, now you're kind of stuck there. So I've got a big theory here. Do I want to spoil it now? I guess I will. Especially with Black Ops 6. The game that, I almost said the last game. I mean, because we're so close to BO7 now. Tomorrow, by the way, brand new full-length trailer for Zombies. The full Zombies reveal trailer is tomorrow. And then supposedly the people that, like the creators that were invited to Treyarch a month or however long ago it was now, they are allowed to actually talk about what they experienced playing the game when they were at Treyarch, a month and a half ago, whenever that was. So, I will have the trailer up on my channel ASAP, so you guys can be, just subscribed and have your notifications on, because you're going to want to see the trailer. And then I don't think I'll go live tomorrow, continuing with this story, what we're doing here, which is the deep dives. We're going to do one per day, basically, going forward. So we'll do Liberty Falls today, then we're going to do Terminus. Even though they happen concurrently, and if we were to look at, if we go to play, and that again, we're going to do this in directed mode, by the way, because it's kind of story first. Like they're giving you the story. The thing that they have first is Liberty Falls and then Terminus, so that's why I've decided to do that. And then if you go over, I want to know if that just changed. It did. I don't know why. That's so weird. This little thing, it doesn't matter. Wait, I thought I put that on. Thank you. And then if you go over to Zombie Intel, Liberty Falls is the first one here as well. So we're going to start with Liberty Falls, even though they happen concurrently, but I think technically Terminus happens like a little bit before, or finishes before the end of Liberty Falls. I'm not really sure. It doesn't really matter. So anyway, my whole big theory, to end everything at the end of Black Ops, I'm hoping at the end of Black Ops 7, there's kind of also, so they've combined everything in Black Ops 6. They threw in the stuff from the past. They threw in Gabriel Kraft, which was just kind of weird. And then also to have him start the map, and then at the end of the map he's dead. Okay. Just to really tie things together. and you're kind of getting it's more theory stuff. I really don't like that we, in order to kind of fully understand, we also would have to know some theory, some story theory, and lore from Vanguard, because Vanguard was a terrible game that I just don't think should count, period. Like, I just don't think we should acknowledge its existence, basically. And it had to have storyline tied to it, like, official, like, this is canon tied to it. I really don't like, but I mean, kind of that's just whatever. So what we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna hop in, we're gonna play Liberty Falls. We're gonna do this right now. Oh, I keep going back and forth between the two things. My whole thing is, like, they keep bringing back stuff from the past, and what I'm hoping for, and especially, we saw at the end of Black Ops 6 with the old crew, the old crew, however we want to phrase it, Richtofen, Tank, Nikolai, and Takeo, them showing up, and I'm hoping what's going to happen by the end of Black Ops 7 is that will finally be the end, the very, very actual end of the Ether story, the Dark Ether story, just what we've had from zombies until now from Treyarch. I really want them to just end this, because it was already they've tried to end it so many times now. They've tried to end the Ether story since Black Ops 3, and then Black Ops 3 was hugely popular, and then Activision was like, what are you doing? What do you mean end? I mean, if you watch the end of Garage Crovy, it says to be concluded in Revelations. And then at the end of Revelations, it is the end. Not to be continued, not we'll see where this goes. It was over. And then Jason was like, okay, now I want to tell my story, and that was the Chaos Crew. And then, like I said, Activision was like, but it was really popular then, so what are you doing getting rid of it? And he was like, okay, I'll give you one more go at it, but that's it. And then we got Classified, Blood of the Dead, Alpha Omega, Tiger Toten, and then that was the end. They literally walked toward the light and walked out of, the Primus and Ultimus crews were shot in the head and poisoned. And then Sam and Eddie walked out. Okay, and then it's like, well, I think there was a little bit of panic. Like, well, what do we do? And then we've talked a million times about that was during a pandemic and a 1 year less development cycle time, because it was supposed to be Sledgehammer's game, and then they weren't moving fast enough along for Activision, and they were like, Treyarch, can you guys jump in and do this? They said, sure, we'll be able to do that 1 year early. And then the pandemic happened, and then they were also working from home for the last 10 months of that development cycle. So what was already shortened by a year was then made more difficult by having to work from home. So I think there was a bit of panic going on there, and they just decided to kind of continue it, although it was different, but still kind of continue it a bit. And then this year they went all in with pulling stuff from the past, like all kinds of stuff. We got more Alistair Rhodes, we got, like I said, Gabriel Kraft, all kinds of stuff like that. Sentinel Artifact. And it's really confusing at this point, which is why I want to do this deep dive. So, my whole big theory is that hopefully by the end of Black Ops 7, that will be the very end, and then by Black Ops 8, brand new zombie story will start to be told. You can think of like IW Zombies is completely separate from Treyarch Black Ops Zombies. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen with Black Ops 8, or whatever they're going to call it. I really want this story to be done, because it is very, very, very convoluted. It was back in Black Ops 3. And then we've had BO4 since, Cold War since, Vanguard since, and now BO6. So the story is so expansive and so kind of just all over the place. It's impossible, nearly impossible to follow. So like I said, we're going to hop into this right now. I promise. We're doing it now. We're going to do, like I said, we're going to do directed mode, because this is all about story. So when we first jump in, anytime that a character is talking in-game, I am going to stop talking, and then we're going to discuss or kind of break down or explain what the character on screen is saying to us, and just kind of try to put it in some kind of context. After we do that, at the end, I'm going to go through all of the intel that we got for Liberty Falls, just to give us some more guidance into what actually happened in the map. And then we will finish it up by going to the COD Wiki and reading what they have on Liberty Falls there. If that leads us to anything else, if there's a link that we need to click out of that, a little more explanation, okay, we can do that. But this is all about the story. So we are jumping in right now with story mode. Sip of my coffee so my voice can make it through. And again, we're going to directed mode simply because directed mode is very much focused on the story, and you're doing things in the order that the game wanted you to do them in. So you're getting every step-by-step instruction the way the game wanted, the way the developers wanted you to experience the game, okay? I've beaten all the Easter eggs a million times. You guys have seen it a million times. It's not about how fast we can do this. It's not about how, you know, cool we can look while doing it. This is all about story. So that's why we're doing directed mode. So no more yapping. We're going to jump in to Liberty Falls. And if you see me using a weird sight on my gun, I wouldn't normally use this. I just found out there's a whole challenge that I had no idea even existed until like 2 days ago. And I want to get it because I'm 100%ing this zombies game. So here we go. New Maya skin. Again, another Maya skin. Whatever one of the latest events was. I didn't even attempt anything from... I'm going to turn this up a little bit, actually. From... what was that event? Like the... not Crash. The Move Fast and Kill event. What the hell was that called? Gotta get kills in like 15 seconds.
Welcome to Liberty Falls. Population? Well, less than yesterday. Never been so glad to see backup arrive. Hell, I'm lucky I'm still in one piece. I need you to look for survivors, subdue any threats. Help me save this town. Copy?
Okay, so we got this guy Blanchard talking to us. Welcome to Liberty Falls. We know where we are. How many survivors? Less than yesterday. So we've got this zombies outbreak happening. And we are trying to basically stay alive.
Listen up. We've got 3 scientists unaccounted for. Last seen in town.
Here's our mission.
Locating and extracting them is now your top priority.
We gotta find these 3 scientists. That's our top mission, our top priority. Let's find these 3 scientists and extract them.
Can't tell you how much I love that poppin' sound.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm getting a doubling effect here. Why is that? That's muted. That should be fine. I don't know why that was happening. It's really weird. Electronics, man. Okay. So we got to find 3 scientists, and we want to extract with them. That's our top priority. We saw all these zombies piling out of here. So we'll go check this out.
Some sort of half-ass blueprint. Might be worth a closer look.
It's a blueprint for...
Expect to take on the apocalypse today. You're handling this well.
Okay, so we're just some random strike team, by the way. I shouldn't... Yeah, I kind of even shouldn't be playing as Maya here. Because technically Maya is in the Philippine Sea at Terminus. But whatever. So this should just be random strike team member. Which, another thing I have a problem with their storytelling choices for this year. Like when they announced you can play as the dedicated crew. It's like, can play? You're gonna mess up something. And they basically have, in my opinion. Okay, so we've got these 2 things. We can go in either direction. Let's go ahead. I'm going to pick up one of these plates and head this way. I don't ever normally go this way. I always go to Liberty Lanes, but we'll go this way. And we're just kind of looking around. Now, Ollie's Comics, because we played MW3, will sound familiar to those of us that did play MW3. And then we know SOE... No, that's green. I always confuse those two ladies. Miller, who was one of the ladies, you know, one of the people in our headsets, who's kind of in charge of the mission, telling us what to do in MW3, where to go, you know, like, go look out for this, do that. We know from her story in the intel in there, Ollie's Comics played a big part. When she was a kid, she grew up here. She grew up in Liberty Falls. And she got pulled out of school one day. Things were going crazy. And I think her mom grabbed her, and they were coming here to get her father. And the zombie outbreak was started to happen, and her dad got torn up and eaten by zombies in that back alley right there. And then her mom was trying to save him, I believe, and the mom put Miller into Liberty, was it called Liberty Chicken? Is it what is it called? Freedom Fried Chicken, excuse me. And Miller ended up staying in there for 3 days. Her mom obviously got killed, although I don't think we ever saw that happen or know exactly what did happen to her, but she ended up getting killed, I believe, from the zombie outbreak. And Miller was just hid in here for 3 days until a biker gang came through and found her and saved her. And, what do you know, the leader of the biker gang called his motorcycle Bloodburner. Hey, that's weird, because then we would get the Bloodburner motorcycle in MW3 Zombies. Although it was like an ether bike at that point, and I don't know why. Maybe it was based off of his actual rig. I don't know. Or built from his actual rig, like infused with ether stuff at that point. I don't know. So, let's go in here and investigate, since we know this place.
That's Dr. Moline. Joined the physics team last year. Nice enough guy, but weird.
Okay, so one of the 3 guys that we wanted, Moline, who we're trying to extract with, he didn't make it. And he's a weird guy. He only joined the physics team last year. Is that important? I don't know. Cold War. Origins. Killer Corpse, don't know what that could possibly be. Quasars and Pulsars. I don't know. She did this. I don't know who she is. Is she Modi? Which we don't know at this point, so I guess I can't speculate. I shouldn't be speculating, I guess, as far as that goes right now. But we don't know who she is. More Origins. Chopped Up, is that what that says? Superhero lady. Okay. We got a workbench, no story stuff here. Dead end. Okay, let's keep going. No zombies there to kill. Investigate the town is the mission we have at the moment, and we can see obviously this is telling us to go certain places. And we don't even have enough to get in here at the moment, so let's keep going. As we're doing,
I didn't settle for a biggie.
let's have a look at the names. Roberta Fuller, Thomas Weiland, Maxwell Godwin. Let's see if there's anybody interesting here. So anybody that we know. Ruth Dempsey. We don't know Ruth, but we know Dempsey. Tank Dempsey. Are they related? Possibly. I don't know. Or is it just a little nod to the game player? Probably that. Josiah Brown. Okay. Now that is kind of interesting if we think of Buried. Especially now if you guys have been paying attention to any of the theories that are out there right now. About, from the trailer that we got. The teaser trailer that we got. Was it last week at this point? It's kind of hard to remember when things actually happened. I think it was last week. So we get the cowboy-looking dude. He kind of looks like the ghoul. He looks very much like the ghoul from Fallout. And he's got the 2 heads in those cages that he's carrying with him. And there is theory going around right now that that could be Jebediah Brown from Buried, the guy who made the Pack-a-Punch. And sorry, I just got a notification from Treyarch. Tomorrow, the Dark Ether consumes us all. Okay, let's have a look at that real quick. Picture? Okay, well, real quick, we got a 3-second little trailer here. So I'm going to show that to you guys right now. There is no sound apparently though. Okay, so let's have a quick look at this because I wasn't expecting this. We've got Farm, which we've already had teased to us and we know is going to be a part of this Transit remake that we're getting. There's a house here that is exploding in the Dark Ether. We've got the Janus logo. This looks like the lobby from Janus Towers. Well, this is not in the lobby though, so I don't know. Because we have that big symbol, but that's up by the director's office, the top of Tower 2 or Tower 1, whatever it is. Bunch of zombies coming out of Farm. We've seen, these. We recognize this. This is the barn at Farm, which we've already seen. Is that Death Perception, maybe? Perk machine up there, kind of looks like it. We got Tank. Looks like Tank anyway, Tank Dempsey. Got a power switch, maybe. And again, outside of Farm. This is the house. A lot of people think the Victus crew is sitting at that table, perhaps dead. Certainly could be. That's Takeo. That is Mr. Peak's Gobblegum machine on the porch. Inside here, again, could be the Victus crew dead at the table. And we're kind of back to where we were. This place? We don't see it intact ever. Okay, well, tomorrow there is, again, the full trailer coming coming to us tomorrow. And like I said, I will have all of that as soon as it's available. So again, stay tuned for that. Have your notifications. I would have them on, but that's up to you. Okay, so let me quickly explain here. So we're talking about Brown and Jebediah Brown. So we saw Josiah Brown, 1880 to 1890. Is that what it says? So he's only 10 years old. Jeez, that sucks. So it's not our guy. It's not Jebediah Brown, obviously, and I believe we could look this up if we wanted to as well, but Parsons. I don't think it's a Parsons. Can't remember. So yeah, there's a lot of theories that the cowboy guy, the ghoul-looking guy that we saw in the trailer, is Jebediah Brown, because he's obviously got a southern accent. There's the story that the two angels came to him and told him to build the Pack-a-Punch machine. And he's got two heads in cages. And the whole angels thing, they weren't actual angels. Probably was keepers, but the story's a little bit vague. So it's not official that they were keepers that came to him, but could be. Although keeper skulls don't look like human skulls exactly. They look like the skull of Nansapwe from Zetsubal. The kind of elongated skulls. So I don't know that that's necessarily it. At least that those are like the quote-unquote angels. This is the challenge I'm working on, by the way. I need 33 different of those, but that's a different story for a different time. So it could be. Now, is Jebediah Brown the quote-unquote great voice? Do you guys even know who the great voice is? Have you heard even the phrase, the great voice? Again, this is why I'm doing this, is because the story. I'm not going to jump ahead, and I really shouldn't even mention anything right now. I'm kind of taking it as it comes. Trying to, at least. Because I think it'll probably just confuse things more. But I don't think, again, the way the story was told in-game, I like having the intel. And I love that we can just go and listen to it outside of the game whenever we want. I think that's great, rather than having to listen to radios. In-game, especially when you're playing solo, it's very, very, very difficult to do. To hear things clearly. So anyhow, our new big bad that we were introduced to in that trailer could be Jebediah Brown. Certainly a possibility. I don't know. But then we also had a Brown in this, you know, again. Where was it? Right there. Josiah Brown. A 10-year-old. Not the same guy. It is a J. Brown, though. Jebediah, Josiah. Sounds very similar. I kind of want to look up. I will do that, actually, right now. I'll look up when. So that was 1880 to 1890 that kid lived. Okay, well, now... Coming in here, obviously something's very different. So we're out here, and we're obviously in Anytown, USA, a little, you know, small town. We know it's Liberty Falls, but we're in a small town in the U.S., and things look like small town USA. We've got little houses, we've got normal cars, we got a church, we got cemetery, and then we open this, and then like, okay, what the hell is going on? We've got the upside down that we're walking into here. All of a sudden, the sky above us that we saw outside is different completely. We've got these crystals growing. What the hell's going on? What is this place? I mean, it's the church, but... Are we gonna... Like, how can the sky be different? Why is everything purple? What is this machine? I mean, we can read it. And it says... Increase your firepower. I mean, we know that would say pack a punch, although it's been broken, so we couldn't technically read it if we hadn't played the game before. But okay, so let's kill this guy, and let's hit this because it wants us to. The SDG generator, simultaneous dimensional gateway generator. Okay, so we're working with different dimensions here. Simultaneous dimensional gateway. So they are existing at the same time, and we're going to activate this thing, and it'll create a pathway between the two dimensions? Sounds like? Okay. So the guy that was talking to us, the military guy that was talking to us, Blanchard, he's telling us what's going on here. All of a sudden, he's like, hey, I'm losing you. What's going on? Okay, so now we got a brand new person, this Panos guy, saying, hey, you military dudes, oh yeah, you're the ones that were sent here for the rapid response team. Okay, so he knows who we are. We don't know who he is.
Not nearly rapid enough, but I knew you would come. I'm Dr. Pericles Panos. I used to oversee dimensional research at Project Janus.
Okay, so he was in charge of dimensional research. We just saw on this machine here, it's a transdimensional gateway. He was in charge of dimensional research at Janus, Project Janus. Now, we've seen with various vehicles, military vehicles and everything, that Janus is a thing. We saw in Cold War, Project Janus was a thing already. So we know from that. Edward Richtofen was in Cold War. We know was the director of Project Janus. So this guy works for Richtofen in some form or fashion. Well, you know, he's the dimensional project manager.
And this is a little pocket of perdition that, unlike you, I am quite unable to leave.
Okay, so he's saying this is his own little version of hell, his, purgatory, perdition. He cannot leave, so he's a ghost-looking thing, but maybe he's not an actual ghost. He's just stuck in this different dimension. He's saying, you know, we can, meaning the character that we're playing as, we can come and go, but he's stuck.
Somehow my dimensional resonance got reset when we tried to close the breach, trapping me in the dark ether.
Okay, this place is called the Dark Ether, this different dimension. And we're going to help him break out of this nightmare that he's stuck in.
My colleagues and I had 3 devices. Limited trans-dimensional gateways. Salvage what is left of them. That component, for instance, in the null-gravity field. With a little ingenuity, I'm sure you can retrieve it. Once we have enough parts to build a working LTG, then the shoe will be on the other foot.
Okay, kind of a lot of information there, but we're going to find these 3 parts that have something to do with, like, this messes with gravity. We're going to do something at LTG, something trans-dimensional gateway. So we're going to open up a gateway, potentially, to help him escape this perdition that he's in. And is that it? Okay, that seems to be it. And then he's going back to pretending to work on that board or whatever. Okay, so we've got some work to do. We're in this alternate like not alternate universe, but alternate dimension while we're in here. This purple stuff is the alternate dimension. This is called the Dark Ether, which is okay. That's weird. We're in a different dimension, but okay.
We got a gusher.
The guns are so weak. Oh, by the way, you guys hear they're doing a classic mode for BO7? Classic points system, so, you know, body shots, 10 points, 10 points, 10 points, and then finish them off, get some extra points, which would be nice. No armor in that mode. Limited to 4 perks. But they haven't said, like, I don't think there's going to be a shield. I don't know how that's going to work. We'll deal with that later. We're not talking about that today. Okay. So, we need to go continue, you know, looking for these things. So, what do we need to do? We need to go wait for our groundskeeper to appear in the cemetery. Which seems a bit weird, but okay. So, let's go do that. And obviously, we've got this. We got more purple stuff. So, this is obviously Dark Ether related. I don't know what the lightning has to do with anything necessarily. Doesn't seem to hurt us, though. But purple seems to equal Dark Ether, so I'll assume that that's what this means. Here, got a little thing down there. But let's wait for this groundskeeper guy.
Tango identified. How many kinds of these freaks are there?
Okay, so Blanchard guy is talking to us again. He's talking about that spider that popped out. Like, oh my god, there's more different kinds of zombie. It's not just one kind. So we're getting zombies and kind of various Dark Ether creatures, for lack of a better phrase. Still don't get this groundskeeper guy. Mark, what's up, man? How do I feel about the curse news? I was literally just talking about it. It's fine. I'm waiting to hold off on how I feel. Curse, by the way, is the classic mode. They're calling it cursed mode. I'll wait to see how like it actually plays. I hope they didn't just cave to basically some peer pressure. And just like, hey, we're putting that in there too. And they just simply disabled certain things rather than balancing. Because if you were to take this current game, I mean, I was literally just talking about right before I pack-a-punch my gun, how weak my gun is. If they simply, like, basically, like I said, just turn some things off and don't change the actual gameplay mechanics, it's going to be terrible. If they readjust values to... Okay, this guy's got the thing above his head, so this is groundskeeper.
That must have been Dennis Riffle. Church groundskeeper. Good guy. Seems his luck didn't stick around in the end, though. Wonder what the key's for.
Okay, so this homie is Dennis Riffle. He was the groundskeeper, but he got turned into a zombie. And now we got a key popped out of him, so we're going to find out what that key is for. So yeah, my whole thing with the cursed mode, aka classic mode, aka this is how zombies used to be, is if they scale things properly for it, they rebalance the gameplay for it, especially the weapons, then it could be great. I don't, from what I've heard, they have not added a shield. So there's no armor, but then there's also going to be no shield, which is not necessarily a bad thing because IW didn't have a shield, and I didn't miss it in IW Zombies at all. But the game was balanced for you to not ever have a shield. So are they going to do that? Or are they simply, again, are they just taking things away? I don't know. The weapons, it's not going to be triple pack-a-punching, and it's not going to be ether tools to upgrade. It's going to be you pack-a-punch once. Maybe you can put an AAT on it, when you pack-a-punch a second time, if they're going to true classic mode. So that's fine if they balance, they adjust the numbers and balance for that. Because as is, if you can only pack-a-punch one time, and then it's like pack-a-punching one time in this version of the game without any ether tools, without double pack-a-punching, by round 3, this AR is weak as hell on regular zombies without being pack-a-punched as is. And then pack-a-punched, even though I'm on blue tier now, you'll see in a couple of rounds, it's still going to be take me quite a few shots just to take down a regular zombie. So if they rebalance it, great. If not, it's going to be horrible. So we'll see. I'm going to hold off completely on my opinions on it because I don't know how it's going to work.
All right, Riffle. Let's see what you've been keeping locked up in here. Good find. That's got to be the handbrake for the Thrustodyne weapon.
Okay. That's the handbrake for the Thrustodyne weapon. All right, Blanchard, great. Yeah, and with no armor, we wouldn't last very long with no balancing. Yeah, they've got to do something as far as that goes. They can't just... Again, if it's just them taking things out of the... if the game exists like this, and then they just go, okay, to make it classic mode, we just take those things out that are now new. Like, you get rid of the crafting table, you get rid of the ether tools. You can only pack-a-punch one time. Maybe, again, like I said, a second time to give you an ammo mod. It doesn't actually change the strength of your gun, just adds an ammo mod to it. And there's no shield. It's not going to work. Because that won't be classic mode, that would be the new mode, but like a hardcore. It'd just simply be, however you want to call it, new zombies hardcore version, It wouldn't actually be classic zombies. So we'll see. I'm going to hold off on my opinion on it until we get more info. Maybe that'll come at COD next. I don't think it's going to be in the trailer tomorrow, but we'll see. So the game wants us to go up to this thing.
Good find. Employees probably used a crank to control the water pressure.
Okay, we've got to adjust the water pressure, so we've got to go get a thing over there. And if you're just tuning in, this is a deep dive into the story, so that's why I'm doing things directed mode. We are purely paying attention to story here. We're going to do the full Easter egg, but it's about story is what we're doing. We're diving deep into it. We're kind of pretending we don't know what's going on. We're doing what the game wanted us to do initially. We're taking things in the order that it wants to, which is why we're doing things in directed mode, and we're letting the game tell us a story. Just because I don't think the story was told very well this year, and I think most people probably have no idea what's really going on, including myself to many degrees. Sometimes I'm like, wait a minute. I see this stuff online, and I'm like, where did you get that? Okay, I got to go back into Reckoning, and because honestly, there's so many parts of the story that you can skip. When we get to it, we'll get to it. But in the Reckoning, when you upgrade the Gorg effects, it's actually storyline quite important. But you don't need to upgrade the gun to do the main Easter egg. So 90-something% of the people won't do that because it's just more steps that you don't need. So why would you do it?
Handy. That should fit any standard pressure control valve.
Okay, well, we just obviously saw that was where the valve thing goes. So let's head back over there. So yeah, so there's actually quite a bit of important story when it comes to that. And again, we'll deal with it when we actually get to that day. But there's just a lot of stuff like that in this game that I really think they handled quite poorly. Something I want to see return, by the way,
Keep the hostiles clear.
And this is also a part of the problem when you're not playing. We're going to attract attention. Okay, so we got to be careful here. When you don't play as a quote, dedicated crew, not that you can play as one, but that you're not specifically playing definitely 100% of the time as a dedicated crew, is you miss a lot of story that way. And something we've been missing since Cold War that was such a huge part of the zombie series, which is why I like it way more than something like World War II, for example, is the sense of humor that our characters have. Even if it was like a very dark sense of humor, they had a sense of humor. There was, we're already dealing with zombies and survival and doing all that kind of stuff. So that's already pretty heavy, like the idea of it. And then our characters, though, are on the lighter side. They can be very serious at times, but they also crack jokes. If you've ever known anybody in the military or cops or doctors, nurses, EMTs, people that have to deal with like horrific stuff regularly, they have the darkest senses of humor of anybody you'll ever meet in your life. And it's because they have to deal with the most horrific stuff on a regular basis. So anyway, my whole point is, since Cold War, when we stopped playing as dedicated crew, we haven't had a dedicated crew. We've lost that sense of humor. And even, like I said, with BO6, where, yeah, we can play as a dedicated crew member. You don't have to, but you lose like that connection, and you don't get that personal touch anymore. Okay, so shoot off a Mangler's arm cannon to use it to break into the radio house. Okay, well, speak of the devil, this thing looks like a Mangler. He's got an arm cannon, so it's got to be. So let's shoot it off. There it is on the ground. Perfect.
Hey, Pat, when are you gonna get me a big kid gun like that?
She's talking to some guy named Peck, who, if we played Cold War, we know, obviously. But we've not been introduced to him in this game yet. Which, again, kind of a little bit weird, story-wise. Because, again, if you played Cold War, you know who Peck is. But you don't know who Maya is, really. Because we've heard nothing about it. Now, technically, again, we're in... I mean, I don't want to rip on it too hard, but we're in... We should be playing as a generic strike team member rather than a dedicated crew member, so... I don't know. It's a little bit... anyway. Don't love how they did that.
Gates down. Nice work. Let's have a look inside.
All right. Where the hell is it? Oh, that a thing? Okay.
Jack,
Electrical wires.
That's the wiring for the jet gun. I think that's everything we need for the jet gun. Let's head back to the motel and slap this thing together.
Okay, we're going to go to the motel. That's where we built it at the half-ass blueprint. By the way, how do they not add a pizza side Easter egg like they did in Cold War? Like if they leave a pizza box out like that? Like they know that's what we're thinking, right? Like they had to. I've tried so many times with either tried to get behind the counter in Liberty Lanes. Project Janice. Special Response Unit. Hey, that's me. Okay, we're building this special gun.
Rustadine Model 23, huh? Definitely not Janice sanctioned. But that doesn't matter now, does it? Let's see what this thing can do.
All right. It's this thing that's been pieced together. It's obviously not military regulated, but we're going to give it a shot, is what he's saying.
That's one. We need two more. Get to it, soldiers.
Okay, so this is the Panos dude that was telling us, you know...
Command here.
Oh, and they don't seem to get along. So Blanchard and Panos not getting along. But Panos told us there was the three things that we needed to get. That was one of them. Obviously, there's going to be another one right there and another one over there. We already saw the one in the church because he showed it to us when we were talking to him.
Oh, no. Dr. Bellatier. My favorite egghead. Not just book smart, but street smart.
Okay, now this is one of the weird things about the little storytelling stuff. I mean, because that's kind of a meme, pretty much, as far as this game goes. It's really just a marker to kind of let us know, like, hey, clue over here. One of the eggheads we're looking for. But not just book smart, street smart. Like, why is that the line? Like, okay. It doesn't come into play at all. It's just kind of weird. But all right. Anyhow, let's get our second piece of this LTG.
How do we know activating your equipment won't make the outbreak worse, Panos?
Well, I know it isn't going to fix itself. Literally, the worst thing we can do is nothing.
Okay, so Blanchard's like, hey, if we build this thing, are we going to have, like, that dark ether stuff all over the place? And Panos is like, no. They're like, just doing nothing will make the outbreak worse. This is the only thing we can do to possibly save this town, is build this LTG thing and prevent the dark ether from expanding into our world here.
That is all of them. Now, find a good workspace to put it together.
Okay, now we're going to go build it.
Give orders.
Blanchard and Panos keep having this pissing contest.
I'm worried about the director. I saw him when this started, and his comms went dark.
Well, if I'm learning anything, it's that just because you're missing doesn't mean you're dead. Isn't that so?
Who are you talking to?
It's just a rhetorical question, that's all.
Okay, kind of a bit there. So he's talking about Richtofen, the director. He's kind of gone missing, but that's from Blanchard's side. And so Richtofen, we don't know where he is. We saw in the intro cutscene for this map, you know, he was fighting with Blanchard in the mansion, which should have been the intro cutscene for Shattered Vale, but whatever. But now he's missing, apparently. So we don't know where Richtofen is. And now Panos is talking to somebody in the Dark Ether that we're not hearing, and we don't know who it is. And he's just saying, no. I'm just, talking to myself, rhetoric question. Like, obviously it's not, but we don't know who he's actually talking to. Probably the Great Voice, but we don't know, haven't heard anything from the Great Voice, what that is. We don't know anything about it yet, so.
I'd like to understand how the LTG device operates.
Well, in layman's terms, it makes ether stores go poof, and then you win a prize.
Okay, it's going to make it...
But seriously, the LTG summons high-value targets so we can steal their life energy. My colleagues managed to fill one ether canister before they ran out of luck. You'll need to fill 2 more.
My money would have been on Pelletier.
Yes, she was formidable. But sometimes survival is about the friends you make. What was that? Oh, okay, fine. I'll shut up.
Okay, so Panos there is, like, mentioning...
Have your canister. Go summon a nice, juicy monster.
mentioning it's easier to survive if you make friends. And he's been in the Dark Ether, and then, so, like, who's he making friends with in the Dark Ether? And we already know from Cold War, like, all the bad stuff that can happen in the Dark Ether. Well, at least a lot of the bad things that can happen in the Dark Ether. The creatures that are in there that live there, like the Forsaken, would happen to Zykov. Remember him? Anyhow. And then, obviously, that whoever he's talking to is like, hey, man, don't give away all the secrets here. He's like, oh, I'll shut up, my bad. So he's definitely talking to somebody on the other side. Now, I thought it was going to be Samantha originally, but that turned out obviously not to be the case. Anyhow, so we're going to summon a high-value target, which, again, we dealt with in Cold War, so we know what those are, really big bad guys. And we're going to, by killing it in this trap, contain its life essence, pretty much, which is basically just going to power up this device in the church that will create this transdimensional gateway. Anyway, did you get the slap arm? Yeah, from that what do you call it? Whatever, the limited time event? Yeah. Long time ago. I don't like it, though. I keep using the boxing gloves. I like the boxing gloves a lot.
Written time for you, you lucky undead bastard.
Dude, like, see how weak this is?
Destabilize the portal beam. We have to start fresh.
Ah, Jesus. So, like, if that's the way the classic, quote-unquote, classic mode is going to be in BO7, it's not going to be good. Because the way it was in, like, BO3, let's say, you know, your regular gun, before you pack-a-punched it, was still good for many rounds. Like, you know, get to round 10 without pack-a-punching, and you were still fine. Reload, please? Jesus.
LTG is weakening. Clear the bastards off it.
One. Dude, that would have broken that thing right there. I'm not even gonna end up with enough ammo.
Your HVT showed up, panels. Don't make me regret it.
Alright, let's go. Oh, we got a perkaholic. Woohoo! Eric, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. Been a minute. Alright, let's lead this guy down. It's gonna be slightly annoying with these spiders. I don't know how you hit me there, dude. $1,400. We need to get 2,000 with every, like 33 different scopes in order to unlock this achievement, or it's a calling card. Which again, I didn't even know was a thing until like literally like 2 days ago. Whoa. Alright, you need... Dude, you're so weak. Yeah, like... You're really weak early game. Well, not even early game, just... I mean, round 13 is not... I wouldn't call it early game. Alright, anyway. Okay, there goes his energy into the thing. We got another one. Okay, so Panos is like, hey, that wasn't enough. But now it's leaking, so hurry because the life essence is leaking out of it. So get back into the church real quick and put this thing into the machine. I won't tell them, but a deal is a deal. I'll find your friends if I ever get out of here. I won't tell them. So he's again.
Time to find and fill the last canister. To get your hands on it, you'll need a Strauss counter. I named them after the undisputed authority on dark ether energies. You really should look him up.
Dr. Strauss. We got a Kraus and a Strauss, which is just confusing. So good job there, Treyarch. He's the main scientist. He's the leading scientist as far as transdimensional gateways apparently and all that. So we should look him up. We're gonna bump into him soon enough in the game, so we don't need to do that. But he was obviously Panos again was obviously talking to somebody on the other side, and we didn't see who that was. We don't get to know who that was just yet. So still very suspicious. We're gonna take the Strauss counter now, and we're gonna go. As you see under the minimap, tune the particle projectors inversely from their Strauss readings, which is not true anymore, by the way. How's everything going? I haven't really been following the COD news, so I need to get all caught up. Dude, there's a lot. Yeah, the new trailer comes out tomorrow. The full-length Zombies trailer comes out tomorrow, so there's going to be tons to go on that. I might do like a live... my reaction, I might do a video on that, but I'm not going to be live tomorrow because a lot of stuff is going to come out. This whole little series I'm doing now, though, what we're starting with today with this, is a deep dive into each map. We're getting into the story and basically getting ourselves caught up before Black Ops 7 comes around, so we know what's going on story-wise, because the story is a lot convoluted, and I don't think told in a particularly good way. So that's why I'm doing this little series here. Anyways, where it says tune the particle projectors, and you'll see what we're talking about here in just a second. I mean, you guys already know this, inversely from their Strauss readings. So that should mean inversely that's green, we should go to red.
What exactly does it project?
Light elemental particles. They'll neutralize the dark energy surrounding the canister. But it takes some fine-tuning. The frequencies are temperamental.
Okay, so we're going to turn the dark ether stuff into light, so it'll release the canister from the thing that's trapped in back at spawn. But this says inversely, so again, from a green, we should be red, though Treyarch have changed that within the last couple of weeks, which is kind of weird, and they didn't say anything. So this, actually, since it's green, it's actually, we're going to put it to green. So that's red, yellow, and now green.
That get it done?
We won't know, Blanchard, until all three...
We got to do 3 of them, not just 1. So that's actually wrong now. That news, like it's giving, like, again, underneath the minimap where it's telling you to put it inversely, it's not inverse anymore. So yellow is still yellow, which is how it used to be. And you can actually change these, the colors on these faster now, which is really great. But it's confusing now that they've kind of broken, they didn't bother to change the lines, and they're giving you the wrong instructions now, which is really weird. The step was so confusing when the map first came out. It was a little bit confusing. Yeah, certainly. And this one will be yellow as well. And they changed the order, so it's red, yellow, green now instead of green, yellow, red, which, again, I don't really understand.
Okay, that canister by the gas station should be accessible now.
Goody. Let's get to work filling it.
So, we did these projectors, and we're neutralizing the dark ether field around this device. So that's gone. So now we've infused it with light energy, and that allows us to now take the canister. Now, I'm going to wait until I can double pat because my gun is too weak right now. Or maybe I can... Should we just pack-a-punch the jet gun? And I need the LTG as well. Yeah, so I don't know, like, I don't know why they changed that step. I don't, like, one, I don't know why they changed it. And they didn't bother changing, on directed mode at least, because it's not available in regular mode, a description. Like, the description is now wrong. You're not tuning it to its inverse. You're just tuning it to what it says on the counter now. So that's weird. And they didn't even say anything. Like, there was no... at least, I don't think it was in a blog post or anything. They definitely didn't, like, announce it. So I kind of don't... I just don't know why they did that. Oh, let's go get double armor. And again, we're going to go over all the intel from this map after we finish the Easter egg. And then we're going to also pop over to the COD Wiki on Liberty Falls. Just to get all, like, the information we could possibly get story-wise of what's going on, what we missed. If it will help us piece things together. Again, this is all just about getting ourselves up to date on story before the new game comes out. How have you been, Eric, by the way? I mean, I know I haven't been streaming a lot in the last month. A lot of new stuff coming out. But also kind of, like, even the stuff that I did, like, was streaming. Like, I haven't seen you around. I know you left a couple of comments. You must be busy. But I hope you guys are doing well, you and your family. Yeah, part of the reason why I haven't been, like, streaming lately, to be honest with you, as well, like the last month or so, is I don't know what it is. Kids keeping me so busy. Yeah, I understand. But that's great. I'm glad everybody's doing well. Like, God, for like I said, over the last month or so, I don't really get it. Like, almost every comment on any video whatsoever even like people would leave comments and things that just had nothing. And I'm not just talking about on my videos. I'm also talking about like over on Reddit, over on Twitter, everywhere. The level of negativity surrounding everything BO7 for like really since they kind of showed that first trailer, which has been a couple of months now, something like that. It's been a while. It's been so friggin' negative, dude. I just don't want to hear any more of it. It's really kind of been disheartening. Really, really like a big bummer, man. Like, I don't understand why people are just... I mean, if there was constructive, legit, thought out stuff, that's one thing. Like, I understand that. I mean, I've got complaints. Like I said, I got major problems with the way they told this story. I don't think they did a particularly good job in telling this story this year. But, I mean, like, anytime you post anything that comes out new, like for the new, what did I just drop? About Black Ops 7, it's a cool thing to hate COD. I mean, it's gotten to such a degree, though, that I honestly, again, I just flat out don't get it. But anything that comes out, whether it's a new trailer, like a little teaser kind of a thing, a picture, anything. Number one, like guaranteed, somebody's gonna say, "Oh, they're AI slop, blah blah blah." Just regurgitating like all stuff that they have heard in the past. Like it's just instantly it's AI, whether it actually is or not. It's just somebody saying, "Oh, it's just AI bullshit again." Like, okay, I mean, I don't know where you're seeing the AI here, but okay, fine, whatever. People just say it. Anyway, I don't really want to get too deep into those weeds because it's the whole reason why I've been really kind of not streaming for the last month. Oh my God, Switches is AI. I mean, that kind of wish. How you doing, Bri? Yeah, it's just been so friggin' negative, like unreal. And I mean, you always get those people like, "Hey, COD's dead. Why are you even posting about it?" Like, why are you commenting on it? Why are you following a COD channel? If you hate COD or you don't play it, like, what are you doing? I mean, those losers always exist. People have been saying COD's been dead since, I mean, at least 10 years. So, whatever. Is Battlefield 6 really going to kill Black Ops 7 this year? I mean, I don't think so. Actually, kind of a great thing for us potentially as zombies people, as this could be a really nice year to kind of prove like just how strong the zombies community actually is in Call of Duty. Because if it is a down year for the multiplayer / Warzone types, and that could just be, like I said, it could be great news for zombies players. Like more attention by the studio on us because we're actually playing, because we're actually maybe like if they, you know, I know it's a bad word, but bundles, like, you know, if zombies people are buying zombie specific type of bundles, like, I don't know, just anything to kind of get more, is that the right, better focus on us. It's fine by me. I'm good, Brian. I'm good. You hyped for Classic or Cursed? I've been discussing that quite a bit here already today. Then I know people are strolling in, you know, kind of whenever, so you haven't heard my thoughts on it. But if you're watching this as a VOD, I apologize. This is like the third or fourth time I'm talking about it. I'm having Classic mode. They're calling it Cursed. I'm totally fine with in a, you know, just a kind of general sense. Might as well just keep earning points while I'm chatting about this. We're going to go do this step next. But my problem with it will be if they just take what is now standard in modern zombies and just say it's Classic mode now because we removed various aspects but didn't rebalance the game. Because, again, as I was saying, on, like, let's just say Black Ops 3, you got a Man of War out of the box, or you got a Dingo out of the box. You were perfectly fine to not pack-a-punch that gun. Round 10, 11, 12. And you were still completely fine with an unpack-a-punch weapon. You wanted to get a pack-a-punched ASAP, but you could survive just fine with it that way. You cannot do that in this game. If you take the weapons the way they are balanced now, and you don't pack-a-punch them, you don't have ether tools to upgrade them, by round... I mean, honestly, even at round 5, you're running out of ammo. Like, how many times do you have to rebuy ammo before your first spider round just because, like, you ran out because it takes so much damn ammo to kill these things? It's annoying. So, if they don't rebalance it, it's going to be a complete waste of time. People will hate it. It'd be kind of like, you know, with, like when they did the limited time mode with, what do you call it? The Korean show. Squid Game. And it was really just to sell you a couple of skins, and they did that one, like, half-assed red light, green light mini game. So people were just like, dude, this is just another way for you just to sell, you know, like the whole thing with the Beavis and Butthead thing. It was just a way to sell skins. It wasn't a real limited time mode. You're just trying to sell us stuff. If it's just that and it's not rebalanced, it'll be a complete waste of time, and people will hate it because it won't be balanced properly, and you're just changing it from quote-unquote classic mode into super hard mode. Which is not what classic mode is. If you want to just call it hardcore, that would be a different story. But it wouldn't be the same as classic mode. So, I love the idea of it, only having 4 perks, no armor, but they also doesn't sound like they're giving us a shield. So, and again, IW did it just fine without a shield, but it was balanced for that, for you not to have a shield. And if they balance the weapons properly, yes, it'll be fine. If they don't, it's going to be a huge problem, and people will hate it. Did I not pick up the LTG? I swear to God I did. Okay. It would be really nice if Classic Mode has some bonus perk Easter eggs. You know, it's so funny, because I saw that today on Twitter. Somebody's like, you know, somebody that's been really hounding Treyarch, like, can we have Classic Mode back? Classic Mode, Classic Mode, Classic Mode. And then as soon as they announce Classic Mode, there better be some side Easter eggs so you can get extra perks. Like, the whole point was you wanted to go back to classic mode, limited to 4. You know, I know, yes, you could, you know, like in Origins, you can do, like challenges, not side Easter eggs. You can do challenges to earn and double tap, right? You get double tap out of that box from spawn. Great. In Garod Crovy, you can do your challenges. You don't have to. You can do challenges to earn an extra perk. Okay, cool. But let's not pretend every map had that. Or that it was done regularly. It's just funny though. The people will, like, as soon as they were given what they asked for, are instantly like, "But don't make it too hard on us, because then I'll look stupid." It's like, okay, well, maybe you should have thought of that. I just thought that was funny. As soon as they got what they wanted, they were complaining about, like, "Whoa, wait a minute, wait a minute." Like, all right. And then other people were like, well, make it like IW where it had, you know, you get the 5 perks, but then you can also take the perks off, which I've been saying for years is what Treyarch should do, is just incorporate the IW perk system, just period, into like all their games. So you don't get to just buy a perkaholic every game just by earning the points. You got 5 perks, but you could remove, you know, a perk that you didn't need anymore. You could just be like, okay, well, I don't need stamina up anymore. I'd rather have Mule Kick for the boss fight. Much more helpful. Anyway, the moral of the story is COD players, whether it's zombies players, whether it's multiplayers or whoever, they're gonna complain a lot, always, about anything. Anything, everything, they're gonna complain. Can you die? Jeez.
Okay, panels. My team did their part. Now it's up to you.
I probably won't be playing it. And if they have some special rewards for doing a specific map Easter egg, I'm sure they will. Then I'll play it just for that, but I'm perfectly fine with modern systems. That's the other thing, too, is it would be kind of, you know, if they, you know, for the whole classic mode,
That's an order copy.
it would be nice, cursed mode. It would be nice to kind of like how we have, you know, the calling cards now in this game, like to do it on regular version versus directed mode. And again, Panos there was just telling us we got to hurry up and get this thing back to the church before it leaks out on us. Okay, so now we've done that. Getting an updated objective. It just says activate the device. Okay, so now we have, again, if you're like, what's going on? Like, why are you treating us like we're 2-year-olds and explaining everything? The whole point of this, we're doing a deep dive into each map in BO6, like in preparation story-wise for Black Ops 6. So this is why we're doing directed mode, because you get full story given to you by the game, is like telling you everything step by step. So that's why we're kind of taking things slowly and doing all this. And then as soon as we're done here, we're going to go through all of the intel for this map, and then we're going to go over to the COD wiki for Liberty Falls and just go over everything, basically. That's what we're doing here. So yeah, anyway, yes, it would be very nice if they would give us rewards for doing the cursed mode, a specific kind of calling. Like the rewards don't have to be phenomenal rewards. Like a calling card would be nice. Like calling cards are actually cool. It kind of just shows like your way to display, like, yeah, I did this thing, I did that thing, I was able to do this on my own, whatever. I was able to beat the Easter egg by, before directed mode came out. That's why I have the blindfolded Easter egg thing, the calling card on right now, and whatever, that kind of stuff. So I hope they don't set it up for failure, then say we hate classic controversy. Yeah, and that's the thing, is it just, if they put the thought into it, if it's a knee-jerk reaction, just going like, hey, just take these things out and we'll call it classic mode.
It's not at all. I hate it. I just want to be a...
Why does she sound... Okay, it's only when Maya's talking do I get like this doubling effect, but when Panos is talking, it sounds fine. And when Blanchard's talking, it sounds fine. But when Maya talks, I get like a doubling effect. I don't know why. Alright, let's go get triple armor. Thunder, what's up, man? IW did the best. Oh, the perk system. Yeah, so they if you didn't play IW in that game, you could buy 5 perks. Because let's face it, if you're playing solo, you're buying quick revive every time, and you're buying jug every single time. So that would leave you in regular, Treyarch zombies 2 perks to basically mess around with, right? Probably you're going to end up with double tap unless you're getting in on whatever boss fight it is, or you're going to be able to complete the map pretty early by like round 12 or so. Speed cola is almost necessary in certain situations, but then you've kind of got like, you're going to do that, or maybe you'll do like stamina up. Maybe you would do Widow's Wine. But really all leaves you is 2 perks to kind of play around with. Because Jug and Quick Revive are obviously mandatory if you're a solo player. The first person that's just like, dude, I don't even bother with Quick Revive. Like, you're a hero, you're incredible, I know. We're not worthy, I don't even know why you're watching my channel, you should probably leave. Because I'm not cool enough for you. I get it. But thanks for dropping by, have a great day. Dude, I love napalm. Look at this. How many bullets did I fire to take out that horde? It's insane. Still not as good as Shatter Blasted Cold War was, but still, it's pretty insane.
Take it from a smuggler who knows. Heads are basically pineapples filled with jam.
Yeah, but if they're just throwing it together quickly to like appease us, it's gonna be terrible. Dude, I got 2 perkaholics this game. That's incredible. I don't think I've ever, in the history of me playing this game, and I've played this game a lot, I don't think I've gotten 2 perkaholics in one game, period, ever. Kanoka, what's up, dude? Yeah, but if they're just like giving us this like BO6 zombies, but then they just take away, like I said, if they just take away the ability to double pack a punch, so you can only single pack a punch, and they just don't give you ether tools, if they just don't give you a crafting table, if they just don't give you armor and don't replace it with anything like a shield, if they don't rebalance how the game, the strength numbers of the weapons, it's not gonna be balanced properly, and it's not going to be classic mode. It's just going to be a super hardcore mode. Which, in and of itself, is not a bad thing, but you can't call it classic mode because it wouldn't be like classic zombies. It's not what people were asking for. So, if they do it properly, it will be great. If they don't do it properly, it's going to be a bit of a mess. All right, we can go to the boss fight. Well, yeah, we can go in. It doesn't matter. Let me catch up real quick on the because lots of people are chatting now, which I appreciate. I just fallen behind. Thunder, I'm doing very well, thank you. Did you beat Reckoning boss fight Richtofen in the regular version? Yeah, like 2.5 weeks ago. Like on a... Not this past weekend. Not the one before that, like the one before that. It's been a while. Yeah, I bought, instead of bringing in the Gorg effects as my secondary, which I never would use, I just swapped it out for an AR that you bought off the wall, the AK, which is near... the Klaus assembly plant. And I just use that as a smoke grenade launcher, just like non-stop smoke grenades. It's still kind of a pain in the ass, like not fun at all. I don't think that boss fight is balanced properly at all, to be honest with you. I don't think it's good. I think they need to rebalance it. But yes, I did get the regular version, beat Richtofen regularly. It was a pain, but it's done. Can't wait for Black Ops 7. I'm right there with you, buddy. I cannot wait. Sounds cursed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Especially, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's information that we get. We're getting the full trailer tomorrow. Again, subscribe, have your notifications turned on, just, at this time of year, because there's lots of new stuff going to happen. But then the people, the content creators that were invited to Treyarch like a month and a half, 2 months ago, whatever it was now, who they've really not given us any information because they weren't allowed to, apparently. Not supposedly, but apparently. After the trailer is released tomorrow, they will be able to, I guess, tell us what they, like their experience playing the Zombies mode at Treyarch. What that was like, and what we can expect. So lots of information tomorrow, but I obviously wasn't one of those creators that was invited to Treyarch, so I'm not going to have anything really new. I'm going to have the trailer for you, and I'm going to do probably a live reaction, maybe a quick breakdown, not like an in-depth one, but like a quick, like what is that? What is that? What is that? What is this? What does that mean? Maybe could that potentially mean, hey, blah blah blah, like one of those kinds of deals. You guys have seen reaction videos before. I'm not. We're not breaking new ground here. And then I think I'm just going to probably end up watching other people's stuff and kind of reading and going over a lot of things tomorrow. And then we might change things up a little bit, but the plan is to basically do one of these deep dives per day for each of the maps. And then, we'll kind of, maybe we'll play some old games, maybe we'll do some whatever. I want to go back and play MW3 Zombies. I re-downloaded. I had to delete some, like I took Advanced Warfare and World War II off my system to make room. So I might go back and play that a bit, just kind of like a throwback kind of a thing, and kind of just see how I do, because I got to be honest with you, I really don't remember like a lot of the systems in MW3 Zombies, like a lot. So it'll be interesting to kind of do that. Super Easter egg for BO6? Yeah, I'm hoping there will be something. When's the new season come out? So, next week, believe it or not, is the early access to the beta for BO7. That's already... We're going to be in October next week. We're into October. So, the new season, I think, comes out like very shortly thereafter as well, right? So that'll be season 6, the final season, I guess, for BO6. So we should get some news as far as Super Easter egg goes. Will it be an actual quest, like not a brand new Easter egg, but like an IW Zombies where you had to redo every main quest on directed mode, and then you access something else, like a new boss fight? I don't think they're going to do that, because that would be new story, and I don't think they're ready for new story. I have a feeling it's going to be more along the lines of the Cold War. Go do this thing, interact with whatever. and then you get your reward.
Right. The SDG will unleash a neutralizing energy wave.
Okay, so story-wise, again, we're back to story-wise. Panos is telling us we need to get, like, here's the moment of truth. We're going to survive here, get some kills, and if we do, we'll power up this machine, this SDG, to create a trans-dimensional gateway. And then, well, we know that he's gonna fool us, but
And then...
bye-bye Dark Ether for him.
Dark Ether.
Although, we don't know that yet, so... We're basically...
Kill those undead bastards. Kill them all.
We're trying to save Panos here. Is story-wise, that's what's going on.
Bingo. Everything
I should have got
powers
PhD.
the SDG. Trust me. We want that orb to keep growing.
Jackpot. Right in the dog.
Okay, we're trying to make that orb bigger. It's a soul box. Do 200 more and we're done with this reticle. Or sight, whatever. Yeah, no, reticle, not sight. Oh yeah, sight. Well, what the fuck am I talking about? I'm really trying. My New Year's resolution, new game year resolution. No more cursing on YouTube. I'm really gonna try that. So, you guys can call me on it if I let something slip out. Just like, hey, I'm not supposed to do that anymore. I'd appreciate it. Do it nicely. Don't be a jerk about it. Then I would greatly appreciate it. But I'm trying. Because this is my make or break year on the YouTubes. So we'll see. I hope we get a beefy blog post tomorrow. We should, probably with the trailer. I mean, we're getting the full-length trailer. The multiplayer trailer came out yesterday.
Make that sphere even
Which, I don't know, man. That multiplayer trailer did not make me want to play multiplayer, I'll say that. I don't like the double jumping, the wall jumping, or whatever it is. I don't think that looked fun. I think it looked kind of annoying. I don't like the Omni movement from this game already. Some more of that? Like, no. I'd rather just have jetpacks, to be honest with you. But I've barely played multiplayer in the last 3 years, really? I haven't played BO6 multiplayer since the beta. NW3, I did enjoy. I didn't play it a lot, but I did like it. I don't like the Omni movement. There's too much sliding and give you a headache type of... It's too much as far as I'm concerned. It's just too much sliding and dipping and the constant movement. Like, I think Call of Duty is better multiplayer wise. I think it's better, and actually, honestly, probably zombies wise as well. Blanchard's like, hey, how do we finish this? Like, let's go. It's better when it's slower. I think that's why grief mode doesn't work in this game, as far as I'm concerned. I think you simply move too quickly. I think it's a real problem. Okay, come on. Where's the chubby dog? Did you just spawn right behind me? Oh no, they're there. It's like I thought I heard him. Oh, we got a mangler as well. Okay, he's dead. So we're basically done here. It's not big enough yet.
at last. The end is nigh.
Okay, we're doing a good job for Panos. I'm supposed to be dead, but I'm super strong, so I don't go down until now. All right.
Alpha team, how copy? Somebody tell me what just happened. Any station this net, what is your status?
Blanchard's freaking.
Panos, if you've hurt them, I swear
He's worried he's going to hurt
No
us.
interruptions for this next part.
Okay. I can't pause here, but he just like sucked
Thank you, my friends,
our
for
life force?
volunteering to take my place here. Or, in your parlance, thank you for being voluntold. Now, if you will excuse me, I have a few scores to settle. Bye-bye.
So he tricked us and got us trapped into the dark ether. He like sucked our life essence or whatever out of us, much like the cowboy, the ghoul in the trailer for BO7 with the skulls did. Looked very similar, right? But it trapped us in the dark ether now, so that sucks for us. And then he got out, and he's also pissed because he's like, I got plenty of scores for this ghost settle, so I'm going to go do that. Blanchard already was suspicious of him. Now Blanchard's going to really not like him after he's trapping his... after Panos is now trapping Blanchard's strike force team into the dark ether. So going forward, and again, we're taking this as you've not played any of the subsequent maps, although I know we all have. So going forward from here, we can tell that Blanchard is going to have a vendetta against Panos and want to kill him, get back at him, do whatever to him, but they're not going to like each other very much. So, by the way, just real quick, if you're not familiar, there's this challenge. If you go into calling cards, and no, this is why it's really hard to find. You have to go to customize. Because if you go into the challenges, it's not there. If you go to customize and then you go to calling cards here and then go over to zombies, and then it will be at the end of whatever you have got done. I have literally every calling card except for 2, it turns out. I thought it was just 1, but it's 2. So this one here is for the Grief Dark Ops Challenge. You get 115 wins in Grief. I don't even remember the last time I played Grief. I probably played a total of like 30 matches. So I'm far. Let's say I won half. I've got 15. I need probably like another 100. I'll try to get it done before BO7. And I've got a video idea coming up. Yeah, Grief does stink as far as I'm concerned as well. So that's why I have not played it. But anyhow, that's why I don't have this one. But this calling card here is like, wait, what is this? Zombies Optics Master. Unlock all zombies reticles for 33 optics. I didn't even know this was a challenge. So the reason why I was using that weird optic on my gun here, this Dobrike 4x scope on an AR, is because, and you can see how many, there's like, I think in the AR class there's like 26. So this would be like 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20th one. You go over to here, customize. You have to unlock all of these. Now I am 69. Hey, lol. 69 now, short. You have to get while you're ADS. You can't just hip fire with them. You have to aim down sight to complete these. So I've been doing this for the last couple of days, which I haven't been streaming because I think it's really boring. If you guys want me to, I could, but I think, honestly, you might just say, hey, yeah, stream it, just because why not? But it's going to be really boring, and you guys won't actually watch. So I've been doing that off-screen, and I'll probably just end up making a shorts video out of, like, hey, did you even know this was a thing? Because I bet you didn't. I don't know how many I have left. Like I said, this is the 20th one out of 26 in the AR category. Now, there's some optics that only exist in other categories, because like I said, there's 33 you have total that you need to do, so there's 7 more of them somewhere. Whether it's LMGs, it could be snipers, it could be pistols, I'm not sure. So I'm just going to have to kind of find these as I'm going through it, and like other ones, like I think I have this one done. So like I'm not 20 out of 33 done. I think I'm probably more like 25 out of 33, but I really don't know. So anyhow, we're going to continue our deep dive into Liberty Falls here by going to the intel, and we're going to go over all of the intel on this map real quick. So let me just catch up again on the chat while I was finishing that up in the boss fight there. New teaser just dropped an hour ago. Yeah, I played it on stream, Mark. It's literally a 3-second teaser with no volume on it. There's really, I don't think, very much to glean from it. It's back at farm. There's an explosion in the the house blows up, which is cool, but I mean, I don't know how much we learned from it. Looked like we could see depth perception in there. Looked like we definitely saw the Mr. Peaks Gobblegum machine. Other than that, there really wasn't much to take from it, I don't think. So, Sorter's family friendly. I'm trying to be, man. I'm trying to be. It's a video. Yeah. We saw it, Mark. I'm not usually a fan of multiplayer. The only one I've ever really enjoyed was Modern Warfare 3, but the trailer looks sick. Grief stinks. Grief does stink. I used to be a huge fan of multiplayer. That's how I got into Call of Duty to begin with, and then zombies took over for me. The last multiplayer that I genuinely was like, I really like this, was probably World War II. Like, I liked Modern Warfare 3. I did. It was good. I don't like a lot of the maps I wasn't crazy about. Again, the movement's a little bit fast. It's not that bad in that game. And then BO6 just kind of the whole sliding all over the place in every direction while you can still aim. It's just, it's kind of stupid as far as I'm concerned. Oh, wait, depth perception was there? I think that's not 100%. It looked like depth perception to me. At the top of barn, there's one shot like down, like looking from the ground level up inside the barn. And if you look at the top right, there's like, definitely looks like a perk machine, and it looks to me like the depth perception perk machine, but it could be wrong. That's good. Hopefully all the current perks are in, so no drip feeding old content. That's going to be a weird thing, is I don't know how they're going to handle that. Oh, actually, well, no, it's fine. Yeah, I'm curious as to how they're going to handle that, because we're coming out of BO6, and BO7 is literally... Oh, I just panicked for a second. Okay. BO7 is literally like, you could really honestly think of it as DLC for BO6, right? Like, I mean, there's going to be some gameplay changes, I'm sure, but really how much? You know what I mean? Like, how much could they possibly change while they're in the middle of doing this year? How much could they have possibly changed going into the new game? I just don't know that they would literally have the time to do that. So it's going to probably feel very similar, is my guess, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, that's definitely depth perception. So you saw it. Okay. All right. Again, that stuff is for tomorrow in the future. Let's deal with this right now. So, we're continuing our deep dive into Liberty Falls. We're going to go over all the intel. We're not going to take overly long with each one. We just want to catch up on the story, make sure we all basically are on the same page going into Black Ops 7. So here we go. Quantum mechanical failure.
Triangulation failed to close the dimensional breach. We never should have deployed the LTGs. That was a job for soldiers. Now the devices are scrap, and this town is screwed. I have no idea where Panos and Pelletier are. Nobody is on comms. I'm hiding out in Ali's comic shop. If I don't survive, let this be my testimony. I put the blame squarely on Director Richthofen. He is obsessed with using Ethereum to disrupt space-time. Now, that much I knew, but there was so much more I didn't. I assisted him with the containment sphere. Sam had become erratic, even defiant. Richthofen didn't give a shit. He just kept plowing forward. He was more than willing to risk what's happening now for whatever he was really after. I can't imagine what would motivate anyone to go this far. Considering what he's done, I hope he never gets it.
Ray gun? No. Oh, that was the Etherella trap going off, I think. So that was the doctor from all these comics that we found behind the counter. He said we never should have turned on the LTG, which is what we did. He's like, we should have left that for soldiers. He puts the blame squarely on Richthofen. We can I'll talk over it this time. So that Dr. Moline, we saw again behind the counter. Quantum mechanics specialist at Project Janus. They weren't able to close the breach. That's how the devices blew up, you know, and ended up in 3 different pieces all over the town.
I have no idea where Panos and Pelletier are. Nobody is on comms. I'm hiding out in Ali.
Obviously, we know what happened to Panos.
If I don't survive.
At this point, with the intel, we don't know about Pelletier, but... And he's blaming Richtofen again. Like, he's like, we shouldn't turn this on. It wasn't for us to do.
Obsessed with using Ethereum to disrupt space-time. That much I knew, but there...
Wants to use the Richtofen wants to use the Ethereum to disrupt space-time. Now he's talking about Sam, SAM, the machine, AI, in the sphere, and she's already becoming erratic at this point in time. Zombies are breaking in.
Would motivate anyone to go this far. Considering what he's done, I hope he never gets it.
That's definitely the Aetherella beam. Shit, Ollie, careful where you point her. That's the Aetherella trap. Which, of course, we played with in the game, and we know. Because that was in Ollie's comics. We saw that's where he died, so Dr. Moline never made it out of Ollie's. Right after he recorded that, probably died. This one is called Conspiracy Theorist. Dr. Annette Pelletier had tried to warn people at Project Janus, but very few listened. So we just heard Moline talking about Pelletier and Panos, how he didn't know where they were. We know that Panos was in the Dark Ether, and we don't know about Pelletier as of that moment.
This is Dr. Annette Pelletier.
We know that she's
We
dead.
couldn't contain the breach, and the LTG's been blown to
Again, the LTGs got exploded.
It's gonna be the smartest place to wait this out.
Hide in the bank vault, side Easter egg.
Suffocate before I'm rescued. Moline and Panos' comms are dead. I'm betting they are too. I knew this day was coming. It was foolish to think we had more time. It started as whispers, these idiotic claims that Janus leadership was holding someone captive. But it didn't stop there. Other, more deranged gossip suggested the victim was being held in some sort of tank.
This is talking about Sam, I guess.
We were all overworked, and some people were starting to crack. Less than a week later, an anti-fraternization policy was enforced. We weren't allowed to interact with other departments. Research teams...
I wish I could pause this, but I can't.
It's essential to our work, but with Janus, was that also to cover up something nefarious? Well, I know if the conspiracies flying around suddenly had an air of legitimacy, and if even a fraction of it was true, everyone was in danger. I warned my team about the rumors. Fingers crossed they're still alive. Security was a different story. They chose to ignore the bossy lady scientist. Whatever. I may be bossy, but those negligent a-holes have killed us all.
Okay, that's enough for her. We're going to listen to it again. I'm trying to let you guys hear actually everything that she's saying, or that each of them are saying, and then I'm going to kind of explain go over it again and explain as best I can from what I remember and all that as we go through it.
This is Dr. Annette Pelletier. We couldn't contain the breach.
So she's just reiterating what we just heard Dr. Moline say about the LTG. And also, this is giving a clue to the bank vault being a side Easter egg. She thinks that Moline and Panos are dead. Moline is Panos, we know. Dark Ether.
It was foolish to think we had more time. It started as whispers, these idiotic claims that Janus...
Janus holding somebody captive. I'm guessing that's Sam, but I'm not sure.
Other, more deranged gossip suggested the victim was being held in some sort of tank.
Because of that.
We were all overworked, and some people were starting to crack. Less than a week later...
The anti-fraternization thing is interesting because they don't want the departments talking to each other, so it's all isolated, so they don't know the big thing overall that they're doing. They just know that they're working on their individual things, and then so they don't know how bad things really are or what they're actually trying to accomplish. Janus.
And if even a fraction of it was true, everyone was in danger. I warned my team about the rumors. Fingers crossed they're still
She hopes her
alive.
team is still alive, but
Security was a
probably
different
not.
story. They chose to ignore the bossy lady scientist.
Didn't listen to her because she's just a girl.
Whatever. I may be bossy, but those negligent a-holes have killed us all.
I'm assuming that the victim, the person being held hostage, is Sam, S-A-M, because they talk about how they're being held in a tank as well, which there's nobody else held in any kind of like tank or anything, is there? That I can think of from the game. I mean, Sam makes the most sense if she's trying to get a real body and blah, blah, blah. So, okay. One lit match. According to Dr. Pericles Panos, Richtofen is playing with fire.
Dr. Pericles Panos, Project Janus, Energy Research Division. It has become abundantly clear. Director Richtofen is slipping. Thankfully, no one has noticed. As far as they are concerned, the director is fulfilling his duty. Modi is no different. Anything
Modi, different name.
Her island of horrors might as well be sealed with a kiss. She calls herself a woman of science.
And this we'll get to, obviously, in Terminus, the next one, the map that we do.
Crush of hers is becoming problematic. No one sees that this entire operation is little Edward's tinderbox. All it requires is one lit match and foam. Whatever Sam is telling him, his patience is waning. The longer her promises remain unfulfilled, the more erratic he becomes. If we fail, it will all be down to Richtofen and his hubris.
So Sam is guiding Richtofen to reach whatever goal, Richtofen's going after. Which we, again, know now. It's what happens basically at the end of the Reckoning, with taking the DNA into the Sentinel artifact and then making either bringing Richtofen's family back to life or giving Sam a physical body. So according to Panos, who's obviously the guy in the Dark Ether that we just saved from the Dark Ether and put ourselves in Liberty Falls, Richtofen is teetering on the edge of sanity, and like he's got the project in a bad place. Again, tensions are super high. Nobody's really sure what's going on. John Blanchard oversees renovations on a mansion. So this is Blanchard. You guys obviously know Blanchard, and then they're talking about the house, Shattered Vale.
Chief of Security, John Blanchard.
He's Chief of Security.
Inspected construction today. Project's really coming together, but I keep thinking about how my granddad wouldn't take me to Fort Washita when I was a kid. I wanted to do their bullshit ghost tour for Halloween. Sounded like dumb fun. Sorry, Johnny. That place is bad medicine. Granddad actually used those words, and he meant it. Now I'm starting to think the same thing might be true about the mansion. I'd like to believe Josiah Shem didn't know what he was doing.
Another new
when
name.
his flock built the place. If he did, then he got what he deserved. Shem's folly. Ain't that the truth? Every owner after him, captains of industry, gangsters, you name it. All their money and power couldn't save them. Shit like that doesn't just happen without other forces at work. Granddad knew that. But that's where the director wants to bunk down. And I can't talk him out of it. So my job's making sure he doesn't end up like everyone else who moved into the murder mansion. Lucky me.
So he's talking about the mansion, Shattered Vale, obviously, again. And he's talking about Josiah Shem, who built it. He was the original owner. We'll find out in Shattered Vale more about Josiah Shem. But he was a cult leader. And, I mean, it's a cult. Things go bad there. We'll get to, again, we're doing this one step at a time so we understand what's going on now and not trying to piece necessarily everything together as far as later. We'll do that at the end. But we've gotten two new names in the last two pieces of intel. We got Modi and her little island of horror. So we know, and we knew from the trailers and everything already that was going to be Terminus. So we understood that. We don't really know anything else about her yet. And then we got Josiah Shem at the murder mansion, cult up there. But that's where Richtofen wanted to go because of the tunnels underneath. Probably making it, there's enough room to house Sam, S-A-M, and everything they built, the particle accelerator type of room down there. It wasn't a particle accelerator, but that type of room that contains Sam.
Well,
Hold on. So this one, Tommy Lee. No, excuse me, Tommy Joe. Tommy Lee is the drummer from Motley Crue. Talks about his good friend, Dr. Panos. Who is Tommy Joe? We don't know. The scientist and the moonshiner. I guess he's a moonshiner. Okay.
Well, shit's popped off just like he said it might. Pericles Panos, Ph.D. Not who I'd have pictured as my best buddy. But he's a good machinist and a no bullshit guy. He loves bourbon almost as much as me. We built us a whiskey still. The Thrustodyne Model 23.
The jet gun.
Not the boiler's heated by a freaking jet engine.
So the jet gun was built as a still.
He worked at Project Janus. Kind of a genius. Always bitching about office politics and weird experiments.
That's why it's a half-assed blueprint.
Today all hell breaks out. And he's trying to reverse whatever.
Because he probably wrote it down quickly to change the...
He tracked me down, and he gave me a diagram. Claimed it could turn the Thrustodyne into a weapon. All I needed was...
You could change the still into the jet gun.
And a pressure gauge.
A wire, a handbrake, and a pressure gauge.
I only managed to fetch the engine before the...
Did I swear?
Damn near tore me apart.
It just comes out, man. I didn't even notice. Maggot sex, we've heard that before from Tank Dempsey.
Need a lucky rabbit's foot just to survive out there. May as well fetch my own funeral wreath. But if you find this tape and you ain't as chewed up as I am, well, maybe, just maybe, you'll stand a chance at putting together my buddy's jet gun. Well, good fucking luck with that.
So it is kind of interesting because it's something that's always bothered me is that every time we go into the motel room and the half-assed, but it's part of the game, so that's not me. Is when Blanchard always says it's some sort of half-assed blueprint. It's always bugged me, like what's half-assed about it? But it really kind of was because the jet gun was not built as a jet gun. It was built as a still to make bourbon. And then when stuff started going, haywire, he's like, I can turn this into a weapon to protect us from this outbreak, these zombies, whatever. So that's why it's half-aid. Because he probably just literally jotted it down, like drew a picture and jotted it down, like pointing and doing whatever. So actually, there you go. I'm happy that I learned that. A limited run. Oliver calls his sister to share some exciting news about her comic book.
Hey, Joe, Etherell is selling like hotcakes. First run of 500's already gone. And folks are coming in just to get a picture with the statue. Now, don't worry, I won't turn it back on. Especially since I finally got the wall fixed up from the last time. Oh, hey, speaking of, Sheriff came over, barking about Janus suits getting all up in his shit, asking about that night. He wanted me to take it down, but I told him hell no. It's a tourist attraction. Plus, we worked hard on it. Anywho, I'm gonna head out and print some more. Hey, your ass better be writing issue number 2.
So, the Etherella comic book, has done great. The statue that he built, Oliver built with his sister, they built at home, I guess, the Etherella statue and trap, and it works, and people love it, but it has put a hole in the wall. And thankfully, that's all it's done at that point, I guess. Steel Mountain Rescue. After finding a little girl, Carl Hoover's second in command talks about leaving Liberty Falls. This is what I was talking about at the beginning of the stream today, was this bit of intel. So again, Miller from MW3 Zombies, her dad got killed in the alley behind Ollie's Comics by the zombies. Then her mom put her into Freedom Fried Chicken to hide out. And it took 3 days, and then she was rescued by a motorcycle gang. That's these guys, Steel Mountain Rescue. The Steel Mountain Motorcycle Gang. Something just flew in my eye. And then I was also saying that one of the guys his bike was called Bloodburner, or he called it Bloodburner, and then of course we ended up with Bloodburner later in MW3. Anyway.
That's it, Carl. We ready to roll out. You go ahead.
So Carl's the number 2.
Sweep through town. See if there are any stragglers. What stragglers? It's been hours since we've seen signs of life. Ain't nothing left except those freaks in their glowing eyes.
Zombies.
The devil's eyes got hellfire burning inside them. That's what Mama said. Carl.
Mama always
listen,
said,
I know you're a
life's
good man.
like a box of
You found
zombies.
the little girl at Freedom Fried Chicken, didn't you? Yeah,
That's
but
Miller.
all there was. Face it, Liberty Falls is dead and buried. No, it ain't. Not till I say it is. Nothing out there gives a flying fuck what you say. Watch it. Look, I'd get my tire iron and take them all on if I thought it'd make a difference. But brother, that ain't in the cards. You get on that bike, it's gonna be your last ride. Then I'll rally old Bloodburner till the tires are bald and we're riding on rims. Whoever's left, I'm getting them out. Even if I gotta crash the gates of hell to do it. Mama always said I'd go down in flames.
Mama always said. I don't know why. Like, see, this is the kind of stuff to me that they're trying too hard to connect everything. Like, why is it called Bloodburner? We didn't need to know why the motorcycle in MWZ was called Bloodburner. It just is, because it's a cool name for a motorcycle, and zombies and blood and brains. Like, okay, leave it at that. Like, but what now? Miller, I guess, named it later. I mean, do we know how Bloodburner was built? I don't know. Like, it's just one of those things that I don't think we need. It's like when they make the Han Solo movie. They go back and they're doing, whatever that was, 5 or 7 years or 8 years, however long ago that was. And they're like, hey, what's your name when he's going through security? And he's like, Han. He's like, what's your last name? No, nothing. That's it. It's just me by myself. So Han Solo then, because you're alone. So it's Han Solo. You don't need to know why he's called Han Solo. It's just his name. Anyway, like, they don't need to do this kind of stuff. It just is. You don't need to explain everything. Like, those little things don't matter. Anyhow, bear witness, Kyle Rakestraw wishes he hadn't been so blind to see the signs of the times. Don't know who this is, by the way.
Community summoned this wrath upon itself. This church was a hollow vessel. Our prayers dwindled into a quiet whisper. Children running rampant with no humility or respect. Their satanic music playing.
So this is just some Bible thumper blaming everything on the devil and kids.
That false prophet, blocking out the divine
Yeah.
light.
Okay.
Those towers were built to test our faith, and we had none to hold back the evil within them. Janus people filled my church, drank my wine.
Talking about the
asked
Janus
for
Towers, I'm
forgiveness.
sure.
I was overjoyed. My pride blinded me from seeing their true design. Liberty Falls was chosen to be the genesis of the end. I gaze
The beginning
upon
of the
this
end.
rapture with calm and serenity as I await the warm embrace of paradise.
And the zombies come in and get him. Isn't tomorrow Rapture Day? I saw this stuff on Reddit earlier today. Nothing else to that. So it's just kind of funny that we're going over that one now. Money Talks Project Janus's investors are causing trouble for Boone Benton. Again, another name that we don't know.
December 3rd, 1990. My name is Boone Benton, manager of Liberty Falls.
Okay, he's the manager of the bank.
In the event that something happens to me, I want the following to serve as legal testimony on my behalf. First and foremost, I always had the community's best interests at heart. When Project Janus chose this town, I saw an opportunity to change our lives for the better. We know what they say about roads paved with good intentions. In the beginning, everything was above board, not a penny out of place. Project Janus has set up personal accounts for all their staff, relocating Liberty Falls, which felt like a preview of the good fortune to come. Then, Director Richthofen approached me about conducting payroll through the bank, which seemed like a strange request, and those European investors got involved and ruined everything. Helping Project Janus was one thing, but the Avalon folks, they weren't like us.
Avalon.
People here know a hard day's work. We're not criminals. So when I was
French
asked to set up
syndicate.
a financial pipeline for them, I refused. I wouldn't participate in whatever money laundering scheme they planned. Richtofen assured me it was just how they preferred to handle funds for the project, but I'm no fool. I know a devil when I see one, no matter how fine the suit. I still said no. He was very clear. If I didn't do as I was told, his investors would make me disappear. Then they go after my family and anyone else that they saw as problematic. Blood of this town would be on my hands. Jesus wept. What am I gonna do?
So Avalon and all that we know, you know, later as we go through, we know now, of course, because we've already played through it, but we wouldn't find out until later. That's the tomb. We'll find out about the French Syndicate, starting with Terminus, actually a little bit, but the folks in Avalon, and I guess, you know, they had partnered up and were laundering money together, although kind of ironically, Richtofen was trying to make that happen here for what, you know, stuff that he had going on. And then there's that piece of intel from Reckoning about his boss at Janus. He was the one that recruited him, and Richtofen's wife Mary knew about the money laundering with the French Syndicate because she was the secretary, or administrative assistant to that guy. His name was, I forget at the moment. Whistleblower. Because of this. Kruger.
There's something very important I need to tell you.
Kinda busy, Sam.
Just listen. It's about the man who recruited Edward Richtofen into the CIA.
So Kruger recruited Richtofen into the CIA.
They first met in Vietnam. Then Eddie was a fighter pilot.
And
They met during the war.
Kruger saw something in him.
Wait a second. They met during the war in Vietnam. We know that Tank Dempsey, the new version of Tank Dempsey, is from 1968 from the Vietnam War. Richtofen is from 1940s World War II Germany, in an alternate universe where the German N-words won the war. And Takeo is from, like, what, 1351 or 1531 or something, whatever that was. And then Nikolai is from the 80s, during the USSR war with Afghanistan. So that's interesting. So they might have known each other. Dempsey and Richtofen might have known each other in Vietnam. And I know, like I said, I wasn't going to jump ahead, but this one piece of information, intel from the first map, is now connecting directly to the last map. So I wanted to just go over it real quick.
Reaver, there's something very important I need to tell you.
kinda busy, Sam.
Just
I don't know why you can't
It's
pause
about
these.
the
It
man
really
who
drives me
recruited
nuts.
Edward Richtofen into the CIA. A man named Kruger. They first met in Vietnam. Then Eddie was a fighter pilot.
And
Kruger saw something in him and put him to work in the Directorate of Operations. Kruger's secretary, Mary, would eventually become Eddie's wife. She noticed things about Kruger.
So Mary, Kruger's secretary, noticed bad things about Kruger. He was secretly funneling weaponry to the French Syndicate and Avalon,
And covering up their human trafficking operations.
keeping the money, covering up the human
There was
trafficking.
evidence against Kruger, but kept Eddie out of the loop for his own good.
Richtofen never knew about
what's
it.
this got to do with me?
Mary sought whistleblower protections. Kruger learned that Maxis was the case officer assigned to secure her and young Samuel at a safe house.
Holy shit. Do you mean?
Yes. Kruger silenced Mary by arranging the hit.
And then Kruger. Okay, so the part that was interesting, well, related to our initial intel here, we've covered with that. The other stuff is for later. We'll get to that again when we get to it. It's just very interesting. The two connections there is that Richtofen never knew about Kruger's connection to the French Syndicate and Avalon, and that there was human trafficking and they were funneling money and everything going on there. Or maybe he did, because then later he was trying to set the money up flowing through Avalon, the French syndicate, into the town bank there. That's what the whole thing with the head of the bank was talking about, and that intel. So that's interesting. Maybe he did know, maybe he didn't know. Although, how could he have known? Like, the whole, I don't know, that would make things too confusing. Wouldn't really make sense. And then also that Richthofen was in the Vietnam War. He was a fighter pilot. Although, how is this German fighting for the U.S.? When did he become an American citizen is my question. Because his adoptive father, Strauss, which one is it? Strauss, right? Or Kraus. Why do they name him Strauss and Kraus? Like the two doctors. just to be confusing. He's German as well. So when did they emigrate to the U.S.? That Eddie became an American citizen, was in the war either with, I'm assuming, the Air Force. He was a fighter pilot. Could have been with the Navy. The Marines, I think, have actually some pilots as well. So he could have met Dempsey in Vietnam. So the new version of Dempsey, the one that we see at the end of Reckoning and the beginning of BO7, that is a Vietnam era Tank Dempsey. So they might know each other, which would be interesting. Okay, we only take cash. Sally writes to her house mom, which is house mom. Well, we'll get to that in a second. House mom is a little bit weird though, about finding the perfect heist location. Dear mom, I don't know what a house mom is, and I don't know. Again, then here she just writes, Dear Mom, you were right. This town is perfect. Small but with deep pockets thanks to the defense contractor nearby, Janice. We go tonight. Sticky notes are placed. I got a fresh batch of dosed snickerdoodles. Your recipe, of course. Student debt can kiss my ass. Love you always, Sally. Nothing like tying that into the present real life storylines. So, the sticky notes that we find for the bank vault combination, that's the sticky note she's talking about. They're going to rob it. That's how we're able to get the sticky notes, the numbers on the sticky notes to open the vault in-game, is because of Sally, basically. They're going to rob the bank. This one's called Politics. In wake of growing concerns, Project Janus Administration responds to Liberty Falls Mayor. From Project Janus Administration to Mayoral Office of Liberty Falls, we appreciate you reaching out with your concerns about our facility and the effect it will have on your community. I assure you, once construction is complete, Project Janus will be a source of prosperity. In the coming years, a continuous pool of over 400 employees will call Liberty Falls home, boosting the population and economy. The project itself will have little environmental impact, unless you count the Dark Ether, allowing Liberty Falls' natural beauty to remain untouched. Again, lol. No doubt a civic-minded leader such as yourself can imagine what our presence will mean to your constituents. So, bringing in new employees, lots of money, what every mayor and government official wants for their town. But it didn't turn out so well. Due to exorbitant late fees, Fast Forward has suspended Richthofen's membership. Richthofen Edward, membership number 38920. Dating your mom, overdue as of 12/17/90. Your kids are idiots, overdue as of 12/17/90. Call girls in love, overdue as of 10/23/90. Membership suspended until late fees paid in full. And again, I made a video on Shattered Veil. You can find these tapes in Richthofen's bedroom behind his pillow in that bed if you have not done that yet. It's where you craft the second version of the Mark II, the ray gun Mark II. I consider it the second version because I always do that one second. And it's also where you get one of the elevator parts in that bedroom. If you go to the left when you go into the house, it's the first elevator part that you get. That's that room I'm talking about. So if you've not done that, you can look it up on my channel. I have a video on that, or you can just hop in and go to that room and you can find these videotapes behind his pillow on that bed. You know the bed where you lay down and when you do the clock goes from 11 to 12 midnight and you go to the sleeping zombies, they're standing in the hall and like they're all sleeping. You look for the one that says Z's, you know, the yellow Z's above his head. Anyway, final issue. Oliver writes a goodbye letter to sister Jolene. Jolene, looks like I'm going to die with my boots on. The store is yours if it's still standing. Make sure to sign and bag any issues of Etherella you find. They'll be worth a fortune someday. Love you, Ollie. So Oliver, Ollie, Ollie's Comics. Again, his sister is the one that wrote the Etherella comic, and the two of them built the Etherella statue together and made it a trap for some reason. I don't know why. Just to kind of be cool, I guess, because that's what she can do in the comic book. But it could certainly kill somebody in real life. But he's trapped in the comic book store, and he's figuring he's going to die. So store's hers if she makes it out alive. These are just the artifacts. You guys know all these things. There's nothing really particularly special about this here. The Thrustodyne Model 23, invented by Dr. Panis and Tommy Joe. This wonder weapon is the very best in redneck rocket science. Again, this thing was made as a still and turned into a wonder weapon. That's pretty cool. The etheric bowling ball, that's from doing the side Easter egg for the where you get the perfect score. Etherella, we've talked about enough about that. The LTG, we talked about that. And of course, the bowling shoes from doing the bowling Easter egg as well. So that is all the intel as far as that goes. So what we can do now is we're going to go over to the COD wiki on Liberty Falls, and we're just going to go over that real quick. If anybody's even still with me. I don't know if you guys are still here. This is, I don't know, like, this stream, by the way, today is doing... Why is that? Oh, I got to do... Here we go. There we go. I got to readjust this. No. Stupid thing. Whatever. I don't know if people are really going to be into this. The stream has done terribly today as far as viewership goes. So I don't know if it's just people are sick of BO6 stuff and they just want more like new BO7 things. I'm going to keep going with this at least until the next couple of maps. And then if it does super terribly, I don't know, I might stop it. But I find this stuff interesting. So maybe you would as well. Although apparently not. So anyhow, we'll see. So this is from the COD wiki. This stuff is not 100% official. This is a good kind of data bank, but this is not from Treyarch themselves. So it's like a fan-made page. So again, it's not 100% official things that are on here, but it's pretty great resource, to be honest with you, of information if you're looking for new stuff. I find it interesting. Thank you, Eric. I'm glad you do. This is like really, like, honestly, I don't even know if I can keep this on my channel. It's done that bad. Like, it drags. Just so you know, like, sometimes when videos don't do well or a stream doesn't do well, YouTube goes, oh, people don't like this guy's channel anymore. So we're not going to recommend, like, when you search something, if you, let's say, search Liberty Falls, like, okay, they're not going to show you this because nobody watched it while he was live, so obviously nobody gives a crap about it. You know, at least this guy's version of whatever he's doing. So it can actually hurt the channel more than help. YouTube wasn't recommending it. I literally had to search for your channel to find it. Yeah, well, this is the other thing, by the way, guys. And this is actually a really important point. Some of you, without knowing it, you might have, go up here to your top right where your channel thing is, your avatar. If you can see that, right? It's right above my webcam here. So for me, it's Rusty, this little guy here. And go down to restricted mode. Make sure it is set to off. because everybody's having trouble with this. Make sure restricted mode is set to off. Can you see that? Or is my webcam in the way? Let me move my webcam so you guys can see this real quick. So here, down to restricted mode. Make sure 100% that you have this restricted mode turned to off. Because if you go to my channel with this turned on, this is the thing that just changed within like the last month on YouTube, and it's not been done correctly. If you have restricted mode on and you go to my channel, at least half of my stuff is just not there anymore. Like it wouldn't show up for you. So like notifications and all that kind of stuff, like it probably didn't go out to so many people. Even like videos that I have where, and in my video, like in live stream, it's just me chatting with you guys. So my natural form of speaking comes out. So I might say an F word or an S word or an A word or whatever. And I'm trying not to do that stuff anymore. Partially because of this as well. Supposedly, like, that's not going to mess. So long as you don't do it in the first, like, 10 seconds or 12 seconds of your video, it wouldn't matter anyway, but which is a lie. But when they switch this stuff, like, to automatically on for some people, most of, like, again, if you go to my channel, like, half of my videos just won't be there. They will not show up for you. So anyhow, just make sure your restricted mode is turned off. Okay, so if you clicked on it, I would have to activate it now to like go on. I don't want it on. I want it off. And this will, if you go to any of your other channels that you guys follow, I guarantee you it'll be the same thing. You'll look at it while restricted mode is off, and then click on, and then check again, and you'll see how many videos just disappear. It's crazy. And how they've like designed their algorithm to supposedly detect whether something should be restricted or not. It's terrible how they have it. Because like I said, my videos, I don't swear in my videos. My live streams, yes, I do. I have in the past. So I would kind of understand that, although according to their own rules, it shouldn't be restricted. Again, if it's not at the beginning of said live stream or video. But in my videos, like I said, most of my videos are just guides. And I'm not swearing in my guides. I'm not, click the effing button. Like, I don't do that. You know, like you just say, go over here, click the button, and then on to the next thing. So, anyhow, it doesn't make any sense why things are hidden in restricted mode. Like, a lot of those things are hidden. It really doesn't make any sense. So it shouldn't be that way, but it just is. So if you have restricted mode on, make sure you turn it off. I never want restricted mode. I never do either. Like my Google searches, like none of that stuff. I don't want restricted anything. I'm an adult. I can handle it. It'll be all right. Like, anyhow. So that could be a reason why the stream is doing terribly today also. I honestly don't know. I'm going to keep going with this. I find it interesting, and I'm trying to honestly get myself caught up in a lot of story stuff before BO7 comes out anyway. So honestly, I'll probably continue doing this anyhow. But again, it's a little disheartening when it does terribly, and I'm like, why? Like I could just make videos and not drive myself nuts with the live streams and stuff. But anyhow, okay. So let's go through the COD wiki, and this will be the last thing we do as far as Liberty Falls goes today, and then tomorrow is the new trailer. So we're not doing this again tomorrow. I'll do it the following day, probably on Terminus. And let me know, by the way, also, do you guys think I should do the wiki first and then do the playthrough? Or should do the playthrough first and then cover the wiki and intel stuff? You guys let me know, like, after we get to the end of this. Because sometimes when you read the information and then it's like, okay, now it's helpful to see it, or rather see it and then read it later. I don't know. Here we go. Small town in West Virginia is caught in the grip of a mysterious outbreak. Assess the situation, contain the threat, and find the lost scientists who may hold the key to salvation. Mission briefing. It's scientists, so not scientists. Again, this is not official COD Wiki, but it is a very nice resource. Liberty Falls is a zombie map featured in Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Overview. This map takes place in the city of Liberty Falls, West Virginia, after a dimensional breach has started. The introduction of Liberty Falls brings the return of the Thrustodyne Aeronautics Model 23, the jet gun, the Abomination from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which we were introduced to in The Forsaken, and a new trap utility called Etherella, which we know about as well. It serves as the only playable map for the training course in Zombies mode. I don't know. I must have done the training course thing once, but I don't even remember doing it. I don't know. Maybe wiki first. I'm actually thinking, Eric, that the wiki might be it might be better to read through it first and then because to me, reading the info and then seeing it sticks in my head better than seeing it and then reading it later. So I think you might be right on that. I think probably for Terminus, we'll try at least to do it that way. We'll start with the wiki and then we'll go play through the map and then we'll do intel. Easter eggs, main quest by Dark Ether. The main quest for Liberty Falls, task Team Alpha of the Project Janus Security to potentially rescue any surviving researchers related to Project Janus, and if possible, find out if Project Janus was responsible for the outbreak in Liberty Falls, and to hopefully end it. Weaponry, Easter egg, the Thrustodine model can be crafted. We know how this goes. I don't have to read through the Easter egg steps. Unless there has information that I want, but I think these are all literally just steps on how to complete certain Easter eggs, and I don't care about that stuff. And then there's just the specifics, this is how much an ether tool costs. This is how much Pack-a-Punch costs. These are all just little side Easter eggs. Okay. Oh, there's really they don't have anything. Oh, here we go. There's a little bit of trivia. That's it, though. There's really not a lot to the story, to the actual map here. It's interesting. I'm trying to. I don't want my webcam. Okay, so it's not in the way at all. Trivia: the song played in the beginning of the intro cinematic is "We'll Meet Again" by Vera Lynn. The same song played in the final cutscene of Forsaken. So that's not in the game. That's the trailer that we got with Richtofen. It opens up with a shot from a helicopter, basically overhead, of all the foliage, and there's a car driving down the road, and that's where Richtofen's with his wife and kid. They're having a picnic. And then Maya fire run was what he says, right? When it sounds like he's saying Maya run, he's saying fire run. Anyway, because his wife's name is not Maya, it's Mary. The church featured on the map is based on the St. Peter's Roman Catholic Church in Harper's Ferry, also located in West Virginia. Yeah, so the town that Liberty Falls is actually, there's a real town based off, that Liberty Falls is based off of, and it's called Harper's Ferry in West Virginia. Mark, is Richtofen's wife married to 1945 Richtofen? No. Married to Cold War Richtofen, this version 1991. Although, how old is Richtofen? If he fought in the Vietnam War, because how old is he here? I guess he could be in his 40s. 15 years earlier puts it at 75, 76. The Vietnam War ended in 75 or 6, didn't it? Where's Richtofen? This version. This is anyway. I was hoping to be able to click on him and find out his age, but they don't even have him here. We could do it anyway, but yeah. So anyway, Mary and Samuel, Mary his wife, Samuel his kid, is this 1991 version. They're dead. They've been dead they were dead in Cold War, which is 86. Well, it started, 84 to 86 was Cold War, the zombies, right? Went from 84 to 86, I think. And then, which is kind of, so that's a couple of years, that time span. And BO6 zombies is literally I think a couple of weeks, a few weeks, maybe a month or two from beginning to end. The amount of time, actual time it takes to go, in-game time, where it exists. So, because we already know in Cold War that, that's where we get the first info that Samantha Maxis and Gregory Weaver, they firebombed that house for the hit, and it ended up being Mary and Samuel. So they've been dead for 5. Well, no, this is 91. This is 84. It started, so more than 7 years. He was director. Yeah, I'm really curious about his age in this current game because I don't know. He's a fighter pilot, which means that's extra time. I don't know. And he was in the Vietnam War. I really don't know. How old? What year did they go to when they left Black Ops 4? Do you guys remember? Because I don't. I don't remember the year that they ended up. You know, when they walked into that light, what year that was in the light. I don't remember. Anyway, the intro cinematic is stated to take place at the same time as the events of Terminus. However, the actual events of Liberty Falls take place a day after, as indicated by Blanchard's dialogue stating that he has been holed up in the mansion for a day. Doesn't mean it's been taking place a day after Terminus, though. It just means since the outbreak. Although I guess maybe the outbreak literally just starts happening on Terminus. So that could be. Near the Freedom Fried Chicken restaurant area, weeping sounds can often be heard from inside the building. This may be a nod to the Operation Deadbolt audio logs where Crystal Miller mentioned that she hid out in a Freedom Fried Chicken restaurant for 3 days during the outbreak before being rescued by the Steel Mountain Riders. If you watch the whole stream, I was talking about this at the very beginning, from Ollie's Comics, where Miller's dad was killed in the back alley that you can see there, and then her mom put her into Freedom Fried Chicken to hide. And then I think the mom went out, trying to see if the dad was actually okay or not, or try to get help or something. And then she ended up dead as well. And then Crystal Miller, I don't know how old she was elementary school, hid in there for 3 days. And then it wasn't until the motorcycle gang came along that rescued her, which we had the Intel audio log, Carl and whoever the other guy was. And he was the guy, Bloodburner. Me and Bloodburner are going to ride. Okay. Oh, right here. The audio log Steel Mountain Rescue, however, indicates that the riders had already rescued Miller, which contradicts Miller's audio log in Operation Deadbolt. Does it contradict it? I don't think so. Because it doesn't say that the audio log happened that day of the outbreak, so I don't think it contradicts anything. Again, this is not official. This is fan-made, so it's a good resource. It's not 100% accurate. Plus, we're also talking about zombies here. Again, convoluted. Very, very, very convoluted. The cover date found on the first issue of the Etherella Comics, found in Ollie's Comics, is erroneously listed with the date November 1st, 1992, because we know this happens in 1991, so how could that possibly be? Originally, it was possible for parasites to spawn in Liberty Falls. A fix was released in the Season 1 Reload update to prevent this. That was a bug, so, bugs. Inside savings and loans, zombies will only mantle over. Okay, we don't care about this, that particular type of stuff. I want actual info. The door inside savings and loan leading to Yummy Freeze can be opened from the Yummy Freeze rooftop without having to directly open it from the bank. I think that was patched as well in the intro cinematic, although maybe not. In the intro cinematic, when subtitles are enabled, dialogue mentioning Sam refer to her as Sam, not S-A-M, but Sam. Her final line also has no speaker name indicated. The dome at the top of Sam Colton Hall can be seen through. That's the mansion. Can be seen through the woods from the church's graveyard. It is the only part of Shattered Vale that is visible from Liberty Falls, unless you hop into a chopper gunner, and then more of it is visible. So that's not true. Sound coming into the Dark Ether section of the map from outside of the Dark Ether is either distorted, such as communications from John Blanchard, or muffled, such as the alert scream of the Abomination prior to their beam attack. So basically, when you're in the church and Blanchard's like, crackle, 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 where did you guys go? What's going on? Communications are breaking up. So yeah. And they don't mention Richtofen here at all. So we can't just click on his name. But Okay. Yeah, I think we might do. Let me just do a quick here. A little quick preview for tomorrow. So we've got Terminus. Okay. And again, that's just a little, I mean, truly is like a quick little overview, and then it's just straight into Easter egg stuff. So there's not much. So I guess we will just do the wiki first, and then we'll jump into it. And that way you can kind of read a little bit and then see it. I think it's better that way. Yeah, I think it'll be better that way. I thought I thought there would be more on the wiki of each map, but like you could look individual things up, particularly a strangely familiar ally. So we can kind of and then this is all about SAM. Jailbreak on a secluded island pits unlikely partners against the undead. Unlock the laboratory secrets. Recruit a strangely familiar ally and avenge gruesome crimes against nature. Okay. Anyway, so I don't think there was anything else I was going to hit as far as this goes today. I think that was pretty much it. Oh, you know what? If you want, because Bri was talking about it earlier, this is the little teaser that Treyarch released while I was in the middle of was streaming the playthrough of Liberty Falls. It's literally, as you can see down here, 3 seconds long. There is no sound. If you turn the sound up, there is no sound. So we can just kind of scrub through this very quickly, but we've already seen from previous little releases, and again, the full Zombies trailer comes out tomorrow, so no stream tomorrow. It will be the reaction to the trailer. But this is the barn. This is farm area. And there's also going to be the survival version of this. So this is farm. It's obviously much more spread out than the original Black Ops 2 version of it. You've got the barn here. You've got the house over here. This has 2 little speakers on it, and I don't know, is that like a mask or something? This is going to be some kind of trap, I think, where this attracts the zombies, the speaker thing, and then maybe like death rays or something will pop out of it, or who knows. Let's just scrub through because it just goes too fast otherwise. This little power switch that I've been seeing a bunch of times, I guess that might be what activates this trap, but we'll have to see. So we've got Tank, and this is Takeo. You can obviously tell he's got the katana on his back. We've seen from the ending cutscene and now the intro cutscene that was released last week. This is what he's wearing. That's definitely Takeo. We can see over here. Can you guys see it? My webcam's in the way. I'll move it again. Here. Well, no, down here is better. Right over here, you can see the Mr. Peaks Gobblegum machine. Scrubbing forward a little bit. And by the way, there was in that teaser that was released a couple of weeks, whatever it was ago now, about farm. Inside here, there's people like sitting around the dining room table. And one of them definitely looks like Rustman. But it's hard to see because they're so far away. So people are thinking, including myself, it could be the Victus crew that's dead. Much like MW3 had that intro scene where Weaver, Carver, Dr. Gray are around the etheric device on the table. Dead. This could be the Victus crew in there, dead. But who knows? Because they were banished to the Dark Ether at the end of Tagter Totem. They weren't killed. So they could have made it for a while and just ended up dying later. Because remember, it here is in the Dark Ether. So that it very well could be the Victus crew. The only people that died at the end of Black Ops 4, by the way, were the Primus and Ultimus crews. Everything else, those are the ones they drank the poison and they died. And then the only one that was left was Nikolai. He handed the gun to Samantha, and remember, Samantha's like, "Look away, Eddie." And then she shoots Nikolai in the back of the head, Primus Nikolai. So Primus and Ultimus died at the end of Tag der Toten. Everything else was just banished to the dark ether. It wasn't killed off. Like, it didn't destroy the multiverse. It was just, they destroyed the means by which to access the multiverse. So they were supposedly cut off and they were banished to the dark ether. Now, obviously, since Cold War, we've been going into the dark ether. So it's still there. So anything that was banished to the dark ether could still be there. Samantha Maxis could still be alive. The Victus crew could still be alive. Anything that was banished to the dark ether could be alive. The only people that we know are dead, supposedly, which this is zombie, so you never know. But we saw Primus and Ultimus die at the end of Tag der Toten. But there are a million other versions of those crews, because every time they kept surviving, they kept creating different universes. So it expanded the multiverse again and again and again and again. It could be an infinite amount. We don't really know. Anyhow. Again, my main hope for Black Ops 7, and the reason why they included everything from the past in this past year, is that for Black Ops 7, they're going to finally, once and for all, truly, literally end the Ether/Dark Ether story. And then we will be free to have a new story told to us going forward from Black Ops 8. That's my hope. A genuine, truly hope that will be the case. We're scrubbing forward. Now we're looking from between Tank's legs, which, sorry about that. So this is inside the barn, which we have seen already from the little teaser that we got prior to this. So these are the zombie cages. You got dead bodies hanging. They could be zombies that are still alive or undead. That have not been full killed yet. So remember, like over here, there's like a hole leading to like a sub basement or a basement. I don't know about a sub basement, but like a basement down over there, perhaps. Why are you not scrubbing? So here we're now, like, I don't know, we're already in the dark ether, but this looks like the house, but it doesn't look like the house, the same house. It doesn't look like that house necessarily to me. It could be, but I don't know. Seems to be maybe different. And it's being blown up. Perhaps. I don't know if that's just porch. Is this like a lake over here? I don't know. I don't think it's the same house, though. I think it's different. That's scary. Ah. Zombie. Zombie. This is Project Janus. So, in Janus Towers, the only place where we saw this was up at the C-suites and the director's office area. So this shouldn't be the lobby. This could be out front, because there is that that big Janus symbol statue out front of Janus Towers as well. Like in Spawn, if you just turn around and look out the front door instead of heading into the lobby, you'll see the big Janus symbol out there. But I can't tell if this is from outside looking like toward the building, or I don't know. Maybe it's someplace we haven't seen yet. I don't know what this is over here, this machine. Looks kind of interesting. Just a little bit better of a look at it. Now we're back to barn. There's Maya being chased. That to me looks like death perception. Perk machine up there. Right here. Because that one has the rows of the cans, and it's a tall, narrow machine. So to me that looks like the death perception perk machine. Zombies have yellow eyes, just in case you were interested in that. Although, does that stuff mean anything anymore? Oh, not really. And that's literally the end of that. Where... Oh, that's... oh, here. That's not the... That's the Cold War version of it, though, isn't it? That's not even the BO6 version of the machine, is it? I don't think so. Maybe it is. Anyway. All right. So that's that for today. Hopefully these will pick up, or else, like I said, I don't know how long I'll continue to do this. I can't. It's not for a lack of wanting to do it or not wanting to share it with just a few of you that are interested. It's just that it literally hurts the channel to have something do poorly. So I don't want to do that to myself. So remember, go into YouTube, click on your avatar on the top right, go down to restricted mode, and make sure this is turned off. Tell everybody you know, turn this off, because they're not getting their content that they signed up for. I guarantee you, doesn't even matter the channel. No matter what, I guarantee you people have been missing a lot of stuff. And you can see like the numbers for like every channel pretty much, that as soon as they activated this thing, numbers just dropped off a cliff for a lot of people. Anybody that, like, especially for a zombie channel where there's graphic stuff, we're using guns, we're shooting zombies, there's blood, there's again, there's shooting, there's stabbing, there's punching, there's, you know, whatever. So there is graphic images, basically, is the point. And YouTube is, in their genius, have decided that they turned restricted mode on for some people, not for everybody. And then again, even stuff that wouldn't necessarily fall under the restricted category has been placed under the restricted category because they haven't done things properly. So I would 100% just check for yourself, not just to watch my stuff, to watch everybody that you're subscribed to. If it's Call of Duty, if it's zombies, if it's whatever, you're probably not getting everything that you signed up for because of this restricted mode being accidentally, not even accidentally, but you didn't turn it on, just YouTube has done it for you. So I would make sure that it is turned off. Okay, guys. The full trailer tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. I will have it out ASAP. So again, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications just for now leading up into the new game. You don't have to have it on for always, because I know getting notified can turn out to be quite annoying. But for now, when we're getting all kinds of new stuff fairly quickly, you might want to have it on. But if you don't, you don't, and that's it. All right, I will catch you guys. Well, I won't catch you live tomorrow, but like I said, the trailer I will have up. I will do a live reaction. I'll do one of these. I'll record it here, like, oh, that's cool, or whatever, and I'll post that, and then I think we'll just kind of leave it at that for tomorrow, and then there's going to be lots of information coming tomorrow, and then when that information is kind of done being doled out to you guys, I will come back to deep dives. We'll do Terminus next, and then on we go. All right, that's it, guys. Have a great day. I'll catch you later. Bye.